You look goofy.
Do you want to take a life? Do you want to cross that line? Because it's a long way back from hell.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Arwen. Toleni Lu. Ichaer gwannar na valano sibaro no kirar.
I learned a long time ago that there's no sense getting all riled up every time a bunch of idiots give you a hard time. In the end, the universe tends to unfold as it should. Plus, I have a really large penis. That keeps me happy.
Now, what I've got here is a scrotum and nothing else.
Vagina.
My mind is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
God darn it, Mr. Lamar. You use your tongue prettier than a $20 whore.
Is Ryan running this stream? I won't take that personally. I won't take it personally. Hi, everybody. It's Sunday. It's not Friday. It's not Monday. It's Sunday. And I just decided to do a stream today because normally I'm making a video, and normally Sunday morning, Garrett will know this, as I prepare for a video, I basically stare at my screen for 2 hours while I'm trying to come up with something. That's part of the process. I don't know if anybody would care, but maybe someday we'll time-lapse video, like after I retire in a million years or tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. And we'll show you the process. It's fucking retarded. It's retarded. Too much of me this week. You know, a lot of people say that. But you know what? I was gone for a week. So, you know, why not? I'm traveling again next weekend. So my schedule's all fucked up anyway. So I'm like, let's just do it live. It's okay. It works. But when you see the process, when you see how the sausage is made, you're going to go, what? Garrett has probably an hour of bloopers that he can release someday as blackmail. No, YouTubers don't retire. They're either nixed off the stream or, PewDiePie retired. He's basically in semi-retirement. But congratulations to him. Let's give him a round of applause to PewDiePie. Probably the greatest YouTuber ever. I'm going to say greatest YouTuber ever. Greatest YouTuber ever. Went out there, survived all the controversy, and just went out and married the love of his life, had a kid, moved to the place he wanted to move, and it looks like he's just happy as fuck. And you can't help but be happy for him. And it shows that it's possible. You don't always have to burn out or, I think it's I think PewDiePie just realized like what's important in life, right? Family, gratitude. What about Jarbo? You say I'm gonna haven't seen Matt in a long time, and it sounds like Matt's happier. Matt went out and has a family going on, and he got a job, and it sounds like he's just happier, and good for him. Good for him. I wish no ill will on anybody, even if they, went after me a little bit. That's life. That's life. So if Jarbo's happy, I think that's good. I think that's good. So yeah, we're starting some things off, but first we have an announcement. The books have gone out here. Let's go. I got my bookmarks. Oh, you know what? Sorry guys. I got to take care of some business first, and then we'll get to that. Let's take care of some business. Got a lot of ad reads this week that we have to try to cram in because I'm traveling to Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona next weekend for the Ancient Civilizations Conference with Randall fucking Carlson, who I'm going to finally get to talk to. Possibly this Tuesday on Wandering Wolf's channel, there's going to be a live stream if everything happens still. Things can change last minute. But last time I heard, Graham Hancock and Randall are going to be on a stream that I'll just be there watching with you. I'll be on the screen. I don't know what I can add. I'll probably be a little starstruck. I'm going to go full fangirl. You're right. I'm going to go full. Oh my God. So yeah, but let's take care of a little business first. This one is Brick House Nutrition. Do doctors have Cyber Monday sales? I don't know. Do they? The doctors at Brick House Nutrition do. And this is your last chance to save 30% on everything. It's the final hours. Well, actually tomorrow, because I'm reading this early. Of the biggest sale of the year on trusted doctor formulated health products, all 30% off, like Lean, the weight loss breakthrough to help you lose meaningful weight without injections. Yeah, I don't like injections. And Creatone, pure creatine made for women to help you look fit, because we like fit women. Leaner and toned, yes, without extra dieting or exercise. Even Field of Greens, the superfruit and vegetable drink, shown in a university study to slow aging and deliver results your doctor will notice. I like Field of Greens, by the way, very much. Every Brick House product, from better sleep to superior collagen, is 30% off. This is your last chance to save during the Brick House Nutrition Cyber Monday sale, which is tomorrow. Visit brickhousesale.com and save 30%. That's brickhousesale.com. Brickhousesale.com. Thank you very much. I got that. I got through that one pretty well. Maybe I should just read these things alone. It's weird that I read better alone. I read better on my videos. It's kind of weird, isn't it? I always had a hard time at that because when I went to AA, my sponsor told me to volunteer for everything. So I always had my hand up for coffee or reading stuff, and I would just butcher the 12 traditions. It would, to the point where, like the streams, it got funny at the meeting. Like they knew I would just screw it up. So there you go. There you go. But yeah, let's go over to Twitter, my bookmarks. Let's get over here. What? Really? Oh, it's probably because I left the country. I got to sign in. I am streaming today from my glorious Meta PC, by the way. There we go. My other computer, which is what is it? Dell. It's like a Dell. I needed a computer fast, and it was during the chip crisis, like the because of COVID, there wasn't like chips weren't being sent, so I had to just get something quick, and it ended up being pretty decent computer, but it's getting old. Too many Windows updates. Too many Windows updates. Here we go. Bookmarks. Why did I bookmark that? That's weird. Let's go. Let's make sure I've got everything lined up here. Oh, look at that. Oh. I would love to show that, but I can't. I cannot. Okay. Someday I'll tell you about that. Woo! Never mind. So here we go. Let's go to X. Let's put it in another window. Oh, dude, that's so funny. Your computer listens to you. Okay? You want proof that your computer listens to you? Hang on, let me share this. In every aspect of freaking everything, including X. Were we not just talking about Matt Jarbo, right? And bless him, right? Water under the bridge, don't really give a shit. Hope he's living his best life. Who to follow? Matt Jarbo. It's funny. Okay. So we got everybody's getting their books, which is great. Bunch of people sharing it, and it's awesome. Look at that. You can see my signature. Look at that little Gandalf there. So the Soska sisters, Shaggy B 2000, all-knowing sock. Okay. Ballad of the Disenchanted. I kind of like that name. Yusaku has all got their books. Thank you for getting them. Hertz. What's up, Hertz? Rod of God podcast. Cajun. Mikey Gusler. We love Mikey Gusler. He got them all. Michael. Dark Schwartz Rising. Vinyl Life. Bradley Burnett. Look at that handsome fellow right there. Nice cap shield in the background. I like that. They still call me Bruce. And then here's a cool little picture of Spider-Man that I bookmarked because that just looks fucking awesome. And they got out quick. It's great. Little problem though. Little bit of a problem. We boomered the COAs. We boomered the COAs. Can you see the problem? Can you see the problem? I mean, it's on brand. It's on brand. Oh no, just look very carefully. Now, if people misspell my last name all the time, that's fine. There's no hard R in Nerdrotic. It's Nerdrotic. I find it authentic. So just found out about that this morning. So, ladies and gentlemen, anybody who bought one, you're going to get a new one. So we're going to be they're numbered, so they're going to be reprint and sent out. So you have a collector's item. Gary is the tallest Nerdrotic. I mean, it's like, what's funny is like the book would have been out sooner, but we caught a couple. I mean, and listen, we're not going to catch everything. You guys will catch it. There's not going to be, it's not going to be mistake free in the book. It's just not. But I caught a couple of things and we fixed them last minute. But you know, shit, that's life. So I'm sorry, folks. We boomered. I apologize, and we will get those out to you ASAP. Missing an R tarded for sure. For sure. 6-7 editions. I don't even know what's 6-7 mean. I mean, we are talking about a book. We are talking about a book from homeless, illiterate, former drug addict. So that'll be out soon. Look at that little Gandalf thing, though. I like it very much. So the Nerdrotic iDot, living up to the brand. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. But sorry, folks, and we'll get them out to you soon. Something was bound to happen, to be real. YouTube prison. I mean, the thing is, I've always said it's, you know, from YouTube to prison, kind of a lateral move. Really, kind of a lateral move. We were asked about this. Speaking of YouTube, hey, well, definitely keep them. But yeah, you know, we got to get these things right. We got to get these things right. Shit. Speaking of YouTube, so we were asked about this Friday, and I felt like we kind of brushed it off because we did. Because let's be real, there's so much of my channel is under attack on YouTube is usually the channel. It's 95% the channel. Sometimes we got to take responsibility for ourselves. So it's reuse content. Now, does YouTube arbitrarily nuke people for no fucking reason? Sometimes, sure. But there is also, you've got another channel nuked and you put another channel up and you're trying to circumvent that, and go try. I'm telling you, I'm not telling you not to try, but you know, they usually have somewhat of a reason. Now, I am no YouTube simp, nor do I hate them. They're a giant monolith. And as far as monoliths go, they will talk to you. They talk to you more than fucking Twitter. The stupid thing is they talk to you on Twitter. Now, the AI thing has come in, and I think it's legitimately fucking up things. So I looked more into it. That's why I'm like, I think we kind of brushed that one off a little bit. And there are channels like that are legit doing nothing wrong and getting nuked. Like nothing. So hopefully they get that fixed. And it's generally channels that like are right under the partner manager threshold. So they have to talk. That's most people on YouTube, by the way. They have to talk to people on fucking Twitter, which is stupid. So fix it. Because if you don't fix it, YouTube, what the whole point of your platform, the whole basis of it is people trust you. And I know that sounds laughable, chat, and it is, but there is a basic level of trust. Like, hey, the views you're watching are real views. The people you're watching are real people. Oh, until it's AI. And AI is not the future. It's not even close to being there. Yes, the robots will enslave us all someday, but let's be real. It's an aggregate and it's not close. It might be close in imagery, but as far as getting, you know, neurotic tics from your favorite YouTuber and how they talk, like it is not close to that. You can clone, but you can copy, and it would be a bad copy. But like even that drinker video, which I mean, admittedly sounded pretty good, it for AI. It was not, you could tell it wasn't a drinker video. You could tell it was just not. So, for them, I think Eric just did a video on this, and he's right. I've been hearing a lot about this, is the AI bubble, and tech goes through this all the time, right? So it wouldn't be unusual. AI is not going to go anywhere, and it's not going to end AI, but I could certainly see a bubble bursting, like people jumping in and investing in it early when it's too early and the tech isn't right. I mean, how many times have we seen that? How many bubbles have burst with the internet? The .com bubble burst. You know, it's and you know, all bubbles burst. All bubbles burst. Fucking San Francisco went through two. So when I moved there, it was right after the .com bubble burst. And if you guys recall, what were they called? Unicorns, whales? I can't remember. Like investors would come in and they'd be paying stupid money for domain names. Remember, that was a big thing. They had domain name squatters, and you made up a website and they were throwing stupid money at you, and it would build all up and fall apart. Same thing was happening with apps. Watch Silicon Valley. It's Silicon Valley, Mike Judge's best work, especially those first couple of seasons, really explaining in satire, but honestly, there's not that much satire in it. There's not much parody in it. That's pretty much how it went. So a lot of money gets invested in this, and it's probably going to pop, and then it figures itself out later on, and then builds the robots to enslave us all. So, but there's so much of the garbage on it right now that I love history. I love ancient history, ancient civilizations, geology videos, like really boring shit that I love, that I listen to at night, and it's getting just destroyed by AI. And it's really easy to figure it out. It's AI thumbnail, brand new name, monotone voice, excessively long. And the reason it's excessively long, folks, you're like, well, people would just turn off on that. Not necessarily. Saying this knowing that I have one of my best friends who just made a 17.5-hour video. But excessively long works because, ladies, because it's not viewed. One thing that has not changed on this platform at all is it's not necessarily views. It is time watched. Time watched. Engagement. Because if you have more engagement, you can fit in more ads. You know, the TikTok model, which everybody's going to, people are going to get burnt on that. They just are. They just are. But imagine how much Joe Rogan makes. He gets a couple million views on a 3-hour video where he reads his own ads and then has the YouTube ads. That will make orders of magnitude more money than a 20 million view video that's 10 minutes long. Like a lot more. A fucking lot more. So that's why they're excessively long. So they can fit in more ads. And the ads are tailor-made now to you. So if you guys are familiar at all with the back end, ladies, the back end of YouTube, and you see where the ad placement is, it's just filled now with most people because you're not seeing all those ads. It's tailor-made to you, so you're going to see, like, in a 1-hour thing, maybe 5 or 6. Now, if you have an ad blocker, I think YouTube just like tries to fuck with you as much as possible. But which I don't care if you have. Go ahead. But yeah, that's generally the case. Is they don't all show for you. But I'm sure those AI channels, it's just some Ukrainian fucking Pakistani guy, and he's just pumping them full of ads, goes to Chat GPT, just write me a 3-hour video on Atlantis and go. And that's going to be a problem. It's definitely going to be a problem. YouTube has never served me ads. Do you have Premiere or do you have a blocker? Which, if you do, you go. You go. Back to Matt Jarbro. Remember those famous turn off that pesky ad blocker? It's like, bro, come on. Die Hard 2. Are we still? Oh, it's that time of year again where we're going to discuss if Die Hard's a Christmas movie or not. You know what? I mean, ultimately, more Christmas movies for me. If you don't think it's a Christmas movie, you know what? I no longer watch Die Hard. I only watch Die Hard at Christmas. I only watch Die Hard at Christmas because it's a Christmas movie. It takes place during Christmas. Doesn't matter when it was released. It could be a subgenre. I understand Shad's argument, which was almost good when we were talking about comedies, but it fell apart when you get to like Fargo. Is Fargo a mystery or is it a comedy? Well, to Hollywood, it's a comedy because they are making fun of the Midwest and they think it's oh so funny with their stupid little Minnesota accents and stuff. And that's pretty much how the elitist coastals look at the Midwest. Look at so Fargo, controversial opinion. Probably a lot of people like that movie. Fargo is to the people of the Midwest what blackface was back in the 30s. You heard me. And it's is it equal? No, but it's equal in disdain and looking down on. Felt that way when I saw it. Feel that way now. Feel that way now. Those stupid little flyover states. It's how the coastal elite see people from, South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota. Not counting the cities. The cities of Minnesota are fucking incredibly stupid. But rural Minnesota, just like North Dakota, spent lots of summers in South Dakota. Roscoe, South Dakota. That's where my dad's from. But yeah. But Die Hard being it's an argument that's been going on since it came out, by the way. It is not an internet thing. It predates internet. And I talked about it on Friday Night Tights. We had there was internet in 1994, but it was early fucking days. So I was working at the Warehouse Records in San Marcos, California, with my friend Doug Johnson and Jay Trussell, who's out there. Love you, brother. And I worked in the video department. And we had Christmas sections specifically for Christmas movies. And you know what movie was in the Christmas section every year? Die Hard. And you know who was arguing about Die Hard being a Christmas movie? Me behind the counter and the customer. And it's just a good argument to be had. The whole point of it is it never gets answered, but I don't want to ruin it for everybody. It never gets answered. It's a fun debate to have. And it's kind of like the end of Blade Runner before Ridley Scott ruined it. It's like, was Deckard a replicant or not? And we were supposed to have that argument till the end of time, until some stupid director, admittedly, who's really talented at times, ruined it. It's a stupid joke that won't die. You're right. You're right. Now, like Batman Returns, I see it as a Christmas movie, but I mean, I'm open to like it not being one. Deckard is a human. Well, he's a human in the books. And it makes more sense that he's a human. It gives the movie more weight that he's a human. Even Harrison Ford said, nah, he's a human. Because otherwise, it's just robots dealing with robots, and all the humans are bad. And I really don't like movies or shows where all humans bad. Like Avatar or Alien Earth. Yeah, I know Bruce Willis said it's not a Christmas movie. Well, see, he's wrong. Robots. Daryl Hannah was a fish. A really hot fish. And you would. Okay. Desert Fox. You would. I would. She would. He would. Everybody would. Everybody saw Splash. Poor Bruce. Poor Bruce Willis. You know, I got a lot more respect for Demi Moore these days. You know, she's taking part and taking care of him with his current wife and stuff, and they're really rallying around him. So props to her. And she's doing pretty decent in Landman this year. And she was robbed of her Academy Award. Bruce is one of the GOATs. So we are going to be doing some squaring up from Friday today because I have no idea. I mean, I'll probably still stream tomorrow, but I have to I'm going to do my Stranger Things review, and I'm going to take a little more time with it. Meaning I'm going to watch it again. And it's really long. Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie. It takes place yeah. Shane Black. I was just, hang on a second. Let me see. Okay. Hang on a second. It's been a while since I see it, but Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Great movie, by the way. The reason Robert Downey Jr. came back. Drug dealers selling Christmas trees. I mean, is it really that different? Iron Man 3. Yeah, Iron Man 3. That movie made $1 billion. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is amazing. Absolutely amazing movie. But yeah, I'm pretty sure all Shane Black movies take place during Christmas. Da, 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 da. 12 Days of Bond. Are we there yet? We need all the older Bond in 4K. We got Connery. I wonder, who's next. You would think it'd be Roger Moore, but who knows? Who knows? Finger Bang Bang. That's a different movie, chat. That's a different movie. Says Bruce Willis said it was a Bruce Willis movie. Every actor thinks it's about them. That is who they are. I mean, it is a Bruce Willis. I mean, he's not wrong. It's a Bruce Willis movie. That's a Christmas movie. Captain JPS47 says, just ordered DVD collection of Doctor Who 9 to 12 Doctors just in time for Christmas. You made me appropriate hard copies again. Good. And you can watch the Christmas specials. And most of them are pretty damn good. They're kind of a little wonky in the Capaldi era, but Last Christmas I liked. The Husbands of River Song I liked, although I understand that River Song became an incredibly annoying character later on. but I love the concept of her in the beginning. And all the Tennant Matt Smith Christmas specials are great. Now there is a Ninth Doctor Christmas special. We can debate this, but it takes place during Christmas. It's The Unquiet Dead. So I watched that as a Christmas special. The Mark Gatiss episode. The Unquiet Dead. I finally saw that fan film choreography comparison with that Star Wars Vision episode. The Indian studio that Disney hired definitely stole it. Yeah, I saw that too. And that, I mean, if that is the case, well, it was fucking stolen. But they have priors. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. Remember the solo posters? I'm sure you remember. They were ripped off from album covers. They have tons of priors of stealing shit. And don't even get me started with Kurtzman, how much shit he has stolen from Star Trek writers without crediting. Mass Effect. When I eventually get to my Picard review, I'll have a full list of everything he borrowed. Now, if you want to see who's cataloged this perfectly, subscribe to a channel if you're a Star Trek fan. It's very therapeutic. Major Grin. Major Grin has done a scholar's job of showing everything Kurtzman Trick has ripped off. And like Major Grin, if you're out there, you need to do a super cut. You need to do a cut of all of it. Because not enough eyes are on it. So like Major Grin's actually going to be a big part of my video. Of course, I shout him out and give him full credit. But he's done some great work. If you ever see that video someday. Snowstorm in Wisconsin. Bet you're glad you'll be in Texas. I am. We looked through our ring and saw it snowing. I really hope we got that garage door down. The person watching our house in our shed lifted the garage door and then it stuck. And then none of us knew the code because it was JT, my brother who passed earlier in the year. Like he's the only one who knew the code. So the garage door wouldn't close. It was like 6 inches and we're talking winter. We're talking fucking badgers and rats. We're like, oh shit. I think they got it closed finally, but yeah, it's snowing like crazy up there. And today it's a little cool here. It's 50 degrees. It's 50 degrees. Yesterday it was 75. Mr. Is Toxic. I got your book. Now on to my next challenge, learning to read. Oh, you can learn on this book. And it'd be like the Steve Martin skit. You learn how to talk wrong. So you guys know the classic Steve Martin album, when you're around your kids, if you want to fuck with them, talk wrong. So when they raise their hand to go to the bathroom, they go, yay, Mambu dog face to the banana patch. And I just raised my hand poorly. I should have raised it like this. Wait, you actually get books after you pay for them? Have you considered taking the money first and then never delivering the book like Comicsgate? I have not considered that. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. I have not considered that. Although, you know what? Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Hey, they've gotten some books out. Some. J-Rex has become a member. Hail. Thank you for becoming a member. If my ads are tailored for me, why do I keep getting ads for gay singles in my area? Maybe it knows something you don't know. How scary will that be? Blank face for 35 Zardazes when AI knows you better than you know you. So maybe somebody discovers they're gay through AI. Oh my God. We got to talk about Stranger Things in a little bit. You can help me formulate my thoughts. We discussed it a lot on Friday Night Tights. And And it's definitely not the worst thing I've seen this year. I think disappointing is the word I used. I think it definitely, it feels like after a return to form, at least so far, they've kind of devolved back to season 2 or 3 form. Now, I like season 3. It's corny and nonsensical, but I still think it was better in season 2, which was just a repeat of season 1, essentially. And it has the worst fucking episode of the entire series. There's things I liked in the 4 episodes, but not enough. And too much Robin. It's like, enough. We get it. Gary, do you have hope for Gremlins 3? Will they CGI or practical effects? I have no hope because Joe Dante is not directing. And that matters. And it's been 40 years. And I know some people don't like the sequel. I fucking love the sequel and they lean into parody, but the first movie is a horror movie. And I adore it. But there's no Jerry Goldsmith soundtrack. There's no Joe Dante. So you have a Spielberg who's been lost to the elites for years, and Chris Columbus, who was way past, like Chris Columbus was always a decent director, but he's no Zemeckis as far as the Spielberg proteges are concerned. He's no Zemeckis. And he's coming back, but no Joe Dante. Joe Dante made that movie. God, is he still alive? Am I like saying stuff? I don't even know. Hang on. He could be dead as far as I know. Let me check. Joe Dante. He's still around. He's 80. He's getting up there. But his style was so fucking perfect. I loved his Twilight Zone episode in the Twilight Zone, the movie. Die Hard 2 is more of a Christmas movie than Die Hard. I disagree. The Christmas themes kind of go away as time goes on in Die Hard 2, and it just becomes pure action. There's snow, but there's a bunch of Christmas, as Ryan pointed out correctly, there is Christmas stuff sprinkled throughout Die Hard. You can't say the same about Die Hard 2. But is Die Hard 2 more of a Christmas movie than Die Hard? Says super random. I just talked about that. But ultimately, it's up to you. Nice avatar, by the way. Nice avatar. It ain't Christmas until Hans falls from the building. Right. And they have that little Christmas countdown where Hans falls all the way to Christmas. Little thing. It's great. Anyone's Twitter feed full of fake AI MCU rumors? Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you look at, but mine is filled with what did I make the mistake? I looked at one plane crash. Motherfuck. The one thing I don't like on Twitter, listen, I'm not squeamish, but I don't seek it out. The one thing that has populated Twitter now is death. Like grisly death. It's like, personally, I'd rather see boobs. I'd rather see boobs than grisly death. But yeah, I warned y'all that we're going to get a bunch of bullshit MCU and Star Wars rumors because there's such a drought of Star Wars and MCU films of any significant. Now, believe it or not, there was a lot of Marvel this year, but does it feel like it? Because you forgot most of it. There was a shit ton of Marvel this year. They just front loaded it. We got Ironheart, Daredevil, Marvel Zombies. I don't really count animated. Then, of course, there was Captain African American, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four. And nobody, and I mean nobody's talking about Marvel other than, oh, look at all those flops. But nothing about plots, no theories, There's no heat around that. That's why it would benefit everybody if the stories were better. I would like nothing more than to make videos about speculating about any kind of lore or rumors, but there's no energy there because there's nothing to talk about. I was thinking about last year and that first season of House of the Dragon, I was so fucking happy that show was good. And I got to talk about it and make videos every fucking week. I was so happy. And it was just through an unfortunate series of events that I couldn't do that with Mobland and other things, but returning to that hardcore next year, starting with Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I will be going for the members. We're going to do the finale of Tulsa King. And then probably jump on Landman when we can, once I'm done traveling. But as far as there's like one or two rumors that sound, I can't remember what they were, that were like, okay, that sounds believable, but most of them are bullshit or utter bullshit. Especially when Fuckface went out there and said that there's going to be like female Dooms and stuff, and then tried to roll it back and going, well, there might be Doom bots. Well, duh, it's fucking Dr. Doom. Of course there's going to be Doom bots, but I don't know that for sure, but I would assume that. I think if you want to focus on like what's going to be wrong, what's the problem with Doomsday, just look at Simu Liu. Look at some of the casting. It's fucking terrible. I would be shocked if I liked Doomsday more than I like Brand New Day, which I'm kind of looking forward to. Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie. I'm not going to tell you it's not. See, I'm not going to sit here and go, it's not. If you feel that way, you feel that way. I watch it on Christmas a lot. And it's a great movie. Dick Donner, man. Dick Donner. Silo full of Cool Ranch Doritos. Splash was the reason Disney created Touchstone. Yes, it is. It is. And we got some good movies out of Touchstone. We did. Oh, I read that one. Hi, Eric. How you doing? Have you read Morrison's Final Crisis? Is it good? Final Crisis. It's all right. If I went back and read it, I might feel differently about it. But when it came out, what year was it? Yeah, it was 2008. It sold extremely well and was, there's a pattern in comic shops with big events. Tons of hype, sold really well. People were really excited about it. People were loving it. And I would say the majority of people are usually disappointed by the end. And it's because you are trapped within continuity. DC, not as much as Marvel, but there's like, it robs you of that impactful end. That's why when Civil War ended, people were like, what? But the true end of Civil War was in Captain America volume, I think it was 325, when they killed Captain America. Sorry, spoilers. That was the true end of Civil War, which pissed off a lot of retailers because they felt like, I felt the same way. Well, you should have put that in Civil War and not just some random Captain America comic where Brubaker, to his credit, tried to tell us. He wasn't specific, but I remember him going on Facebook going, order up on Captain America 25, and I completely ignored him and walked up to my store on Wednesday that morning with a line, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And then I found out when everybody else did that Captain America died and sold out and all that stuff. Did get some help from other shops. They sold me some copies. Did get some help. But Final Crisis, it's all right. It's all right. I think you'll enjoy it. Less Than Zero is a Christmas movie with RDJ. It's a depressing movie. Invasion USA is the ultimate Christmas movie. Only Chuck Norris could save Christmas. You're damn right. You're damn right. God bless Chuck Norris. God, I haven't seen it. I remember vaguely watching that movie. 70. I'm sure everybody has that movie. It's like, I saw it so many years ago. I can't even remember what the circumstances were. I was probably high. Funny Farm is a good Christmas movie. There you go. Nick the Quick for 10 Canadian pesos says, Gary, let's talk music for a second. What's your favorite Floyd and favorite Rush album? I'd go with Animals and Hemispheres. Hail rock music. Okay, favorite Floyd album. Okay, so we have to put parameters on this. Okay, my favorite Rush album. So we're going to go with On Drugs and Not On Drugs. So On Drugs, Animals, for sure. You spark up some bowls or don't ever do this. Well, I mean, it's illegal now, but, or drop a little bit of acid or some mushrooms. You will hear things in Animals that were only meant to be heard on drugs. And I don't think they even particularly put them in on purpose, but at the point where they say, let me get the lyric right. Hang on. And what, down by the stone. So in Animals, when they utter the lyric, dragged down by the stone, there's an echo to that you don't stop hearing, especially when you're high, throughout the entire album. It's in the background. It's pretty awesome. Love Animals. Not On Drugs. Wish You Were Here. As far as On Drugs for Rush, 2112, sober, Moving Pictures. But those are good. Hemispheres is fucking awesome. You're going to do a Stranger Things video with Mahler? I enjoyed the last one. I actually thought about that. That's one of the things it's up to Mahler. But if we just did like a recording and then I edited over the recording of him and I discussing it, that is something I gave a thought to. It'd be something different for my channel, but I think it would actually work if he's up for it. I mean, he just did a 17.5-hour video, and I think he was in the chat the whole time, so he's probably sleeping. And I know he was going to watch it with his family. Gary, will you be reviewing War Between the Land and Sea next Sunday with Real BBC and FNT crew? Also, when are you and Ryan doing the Harry Potter audio pod? I think Ryan and I should probably, I think when the second book comes out, Ryan and I should do a live stream over the holidays, and then we can start our Harry Potter podcast in the next year. That's quite a commitment, but we're going to do it. I think it's good that we do it, by the way. I'd love to geek out on Harry Potter with Ryan. But the next book comes out in 15 days on Audible, so maybe we'll work that around. As far as War Between the Land and the Sea, I think it'll be like a real BBC thing, and I think I would have a hard time getting Az and Mahler to watch that, but I will. So I'll be covering it in one way or another. But is this a Christmas nooner? No, WG, because it's not quite Christmas. But we will be doing our Christmas live stream on Christmas Eve. as it's basically a real BBC Christmas special, but we'll probably have other people on. Is Grumpy Old Man a Christmas movie? Does it take place during Christmas? I haven't seen it in a long time. I know it's one of my pop's all-time favorites. He loved Walter Matthau. Marty Gray for 10 British pounds, proper money. Hey, Gary and chat, are 4K Blu-ray DVDs that much of a step up from Blu-ray? I'm considering starting a library. Also, will my PS5 play them well enough, or should I get a 4K player? No, your PS5 will play them just fine. Your PS5 will play them just fine. Are they that much of an upgrade? Really depends on the movie, Marty. I hate to give you that kind of answer because sometimes, yes, very much so. I know people were trying to criticize them, but the Lord of the Rings 4K upgrades are fucking awesome. Jaws is good. There are some, like Dune is spectacular in 4K. Denis Villeneuve's Dune are fucking great. And then there's some that are just, you can't tell the difference at all. You can't tell the difference at all. I just got the Mask, and the transfer on that's pretty good. It's pretty good from Arrow. I would say stick with like your favorite movies, but then go to Digital Bits, and they have good reviews, and they'll tell you what's a good transfer or not. That's a great site. It's been around forever. For Christmas movies, don't forget The Toy. Yes, Gleason and Pryor. And John Wade's The Three Godfathers. Bubba Doon knows his shit. For those of you who don't know me, Wild Comanche, where can get an order for Waiting for Nerdrotics? So, Ripaverse did the pre-sale. It will be available through Amazon and Barnes & Noble soon. We are in the process of taking care of that, but the orders have to be fulfilled first for the pre-order. So we got to make sure everybody who pre-ordered it has got their copy, and then we go through the process of getting it. So it will be available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Blank Face for 70 Zardozes. Are there any songs that give you a musical euphoria? Where the song is so good it makes you feel like you're floating in amazement. One for me is Knights of Sidonia from Muse. Yes. And I love Knights of Sidonia. I fucking adore that song. It's such a kick-ass song. Musical euphoria. It depends, because there's soundtracks, there's a lot of John Williams music that gives me there's a lot of classical music that gives me music euphoria. But then there's a lot of like Painkiller from Judas Priest is my all-time favorite metal song. It is insane, and it does give me musical euphoria. But then there's other songs that do it that are really simple, like Common People. I fucking love that song. It gives me musical euphoria. It just depends on the taste. But you're talking about a song that's like so moving, like, Comfortably Numb, that guitar solo. It's not like technically the best guitar solo ever. It's just full of soul. There's actual feeling and pain in that guitar solo that you just, it's great. But yes, AI knowing this before a person knows it is already happening. One time a girl got pregnancy ads before she learned she was pregnant due to the learned patterns of how pregnant women use the internet. Oh, wow. That's fucking scary. And I believe it. Random question. Why'd Bakshi make Aragorn an Indian in a skirt in his Lord of the Rings? Well, it wasn't Indian. He was just darker skinned. So like Mediterranean. He made him, but you'll have to ask him. He's still alive, by the way. The man's a genius. How great would it have been to have a Ralph Bakshi Elric? Almost happened. But yeah, he dark, but he's still white. He's like Mediterranean. Texas Sam for $10. The limo driver specifically says at the end of Die Hard, if this is how you celebrate Christmas, I gotta be here for New Year's. Well, that's pretty close to to the actual line. Yes, it is. ST5 is Stranger Things 5 is mostly solid, but incorporating stuff from a play that mostly no one has seen is dumb. Vecna doesn't need redemption. He's a sociopath with a god complex in season 4. Keep him pure evil. I could not agree more. So yeah, Ryan pointed that out on FNT, and I went and looked it up, and they don't give specifics. So, and the Duffer Brothers said specifically that you do not need to watch the play or know anything about the play. They're going to give you the background, which I mentioned on FNT that they're probably going to do that. The play doesn't fucking matter. They're not going to like incorporate stuff and not directly refer to it. But if you want to know why Vecna is afraid to go to the cave, what they don't fully explain it in the play at all. They just give you an idea. So that cave is the first place he went into Dimension X. So that cave has something, it's either in Dimension X or has something, or it's like where he entered it the first time. Either way, it's his first experience of Dimension X, which he doesn't really remember, which they'll probably fill in for the show, that gave him that trauma. Couldn't agree more, though. If they're using this as like, we're going to have sympathy for the devil, fuck that. I just make a villain evil. It's fine. It's fine. Don't have him he got diddled by his dad or whatever. I think being experimented on by the government is enough. And the Duffer Brothers did say recently that in the next part, they're going to fully explain. Dimension X is the upside down. So they're going to fully explain what it is. I am worried about that because, like, honestly, I don't want an answer what it is. Now, if they come out and say, well, it's a dimension, it's basically a hell dimension that's always existed, and the government just got access to it. And what we talked about on FNT is I'd love for there to be some eldritch god in there that you can't defeat, but it can't enter our world, but it could only influence. Very H.P. Lovecraft, which is where I thought they were going. And they still could do that. And I think that would be cooler than Vecna just being the only bad guy. Now, the introduction of Vecna in season 4, I thought was great, and it needed it. The show needed it. It needed a singular focus on what the evil was. So that worked for me completely. Would you be okay with seeing grizzly boobs on Twitter? No. I don't want to see grizzly boobs. I want to see pure tatas. Favorite burn run. Superman is mine, says Jay Larson, 1214. Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four. Now, arguably, the Claremont burn run is a burn run too, because as John Byrne likes to point out a lot, and good for him. By the way, I have tons of respect. John Byrne's, as a kid, he was my favorite. He loves to mention that he had a lot to do with the storytelling. Like, he wasn't just there as an artist, and he's not wrong. But Fantastic Four, I loved his Fantastic Four run. Superman was really good too. Penn's fan for life for $10 says, hey, Gary, got my signed copy of your book on Friday, and I'm looking forward to reading it. Awesome. I'm glad you got it, and thank you for getting it, and I hope you enjoy it. I don't know if enjoy is the right word. Hope it's engaging enough for you. But thank you, Pens for Life. I appreciate you. Mexi Rage for $5 says, God, I love the new season of Landman. Also, I feel the line, why does everyone want to ruin it? That's how I see all my favorite stuff that gets made. Yeah. I like that Sam Elliott's in it. and the part he plays, he kills it in that. Like, dude, he just it starts out with a little bit of gut punch, but it's really good. I know some people are saying there's too much Ali Larder. I think she's really hot. I am, Curtis. I am very much enjoying the new season of Landman. That show's on another level for Taylor Sheridan. On another level. Also, thought of this. You know what show is really good and actually, in my opinion, respected the movie? The Dark Crystal canceled prequel show. It was actually pretty good. I was turned off in the beginning with the whole like usage of the word resistance because I'm so fucking sick of that word being used, because that's you know, they always talk about dog whistles. That's a fucking dog whistle word for Trump and TDS. But yeah, and it was canceled because not enough people watched it and it was too expensive. You should check out the most recent episode of Diary of a CEO podcast. They talk about AI and some of its consequences. It would make for some good FF content. See you in Arizona. I will check it out. Bo the Yo for $10. Thank you for the recommendation. If you're getting gay dating adverts, someone has used your phone or whatever to look at gay sites. Fact. Do my mate says anyway. Says the man. Does Man Brown for $4.99 British pounds. Thank you very much. I probably butchered the hell out of that. I'm sorry. It's easy to have DC comic collection. Marvel Comics requires collecting every issue due to the long continuity. Even for friends, getting into DC was easy. Yes, Yamada, getting into DC is easier, and that was the whole point. So it's easier to get into as a new reader, but as a collector, you want to be a Marvel guy because DC relaunches their universe so much it makes their back issues less valuable. Which is great because I'm a reader, and one of the biggest blind spots I have is because I was a Marvel guy, was DC in the 70s and the 60s. So I'm buying up those back issues, and they're cheap. In a lot of cases, cheaper than buying an omnibus. And I guess I'm kind of a purist. I need to have the ads. I need to have that smell to the paper. I love newsprint. Got both mine. Might read it before the audio was out. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's going to be a minute. I'm going to start back up on that when I get back from Arizona. But thank you, Odin. Thank you. And thank you for being a member for 30 months. And thank you for gifting a Nerdrotic Live membership, J Rex. We appreciate you. What would you write for an X-Men comic? I don't know, Robert Hayes. The first thing I would do is make Iceman straight and basically write in that the Phoenix took over Jean Grey again and started fucking with people. But God, if it were up to me, I would. And they did this, and they fucked it up. But I would kill a lot of the X-Men. There's too many X-Men. Back to basics, and I wouldn't make everything about being hated and feared. I would get back to doing heroic stuff. But I haven't read the X-Men in many a moon, and it's never been my favorite comic book. I've always found it a little soapy. I love the Claremont Cockrum burn run, but everything out of that is kind of hit and miss with me. The art was great. They got the best artists for sure. But when I bought my store, Morrison's new X-Men was out, and that was hit and miss for me too. But people loved it. Like, it was a best-selling book, and people absolutely loved it. But what would I write for an X-Men comic? I'd greatly reduce their numbers. I would make them very rare. Gary, Trading Places is a great Christian movie. I love Trading Places, and they wouldn't make it today. Wild Comanche, thank you for becoming a member. We appreciate you. Have you caught up on Pluribus yet? Somewhat. We're up to episode 5. There's 6 episodes out, right? I like the show, but the last episode was pretty slow. Had a lot of filler that didn't move the story forward. It definitely slowed down for me in episode 5. It did. I really do like how she's kind of got her whiteboard out and she's parsing out like basically the flaws of these people. And if you've noticed this, I'm sure you have, if you've noticed that the flaws that she's pointing out in these people are all really good traits. Did you guys catch that? I'm sure you did. But she's got a whole list of their flaws and it's like really nice, trusting, can't lie. It's like, oh shit. So that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. Is Noons still in the chat? What's up, Noons? I saw you were there earlier. I forgot to say hello. Hello, Noons. What's up, my lady? I think so we got up to episode 5 and it was going so slow that Melissa got tired and she's like, I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. But Ray Seahorn is, you can tell she's like probably a pretty manic person, but a great actress, man. She is great. Hopeful, not worried. Gotcha. Curtis D. Montana. It's Trading Places. Yeah. Is it Christmas? It's been years since I see it. I own it, but I haven't seen it for years. Yes. I saw Trading Places in the theater quite a bit because Eddie Murphy was a massive star. A massive star back then. Unless you were alive, it's probably hard for people to understand like how big of a star. Then it's a Christmas movie. I will watch it this Christmas. Charlie Murphy, R.I.P. Charlie Murphy, R.I.P. Gary, I'd argue this is actually a Christmas nooner. I mean, it's after Black Friday already and it's snowing in Wisconsin. Yeah, well, I mean, I do Christmas. I think a lot of us do this, but I do Christmas like a chick does her birthday. I celebrate all month. It is all month. I feel incredibly behind that our house isn't fully decorated and I don't have my Christmas tree behind me, but that will be fixed very soon. Very, very soon. So since it's 2025, are you hopeful or optimistic about the new Stargate? I am, I don't think I have, or worried, you said. I have no expectations of the new Stargate because I am not familiar with Stargate. I think the general consensus of the fandom is cautiously optimistic. I don't know if I'd go that far. I'd say hope for the best, expect the worst. It's Amazon. Now it's Jennifer Salke's gone. So that's good. But why does my avatar look like Jim Gaffigan? Because Jim Gaffigan looks like me, maybe. I don't know. This avatar? Hang on. That's done by Syndek. Does that look like Jim Gaffigan? Maybe. But thank you for the $2 net stealer. Yamada for 100 yen says, I was recently done collecting money. I was recently done collecting money to buy Burn Run for Fantastic Four, but then Marvel readers told me you need the Kirby run before Burn. And I was like, fuck, man. You don't need it. You don't. Now, you eventually want to get the Kirby run, but you'll have to get that in omnibuses and trades because the early back issues are just astronomical, but you don't need it. I got a lot of people in the FF on that run in my store for sure. Let's get to some squaring up, shall we? Oh, really? God damn it. Ugh. Here we go. Oh boy. That's better. Hope everybody's doing great today. I don't know. When is Sunday Fun Day start? Hang on. It's already started. They're going. So if you want to dual stream that, that's fine. But here we go. Ryan Kinnell for $10 says, Beardo's girlfriend said they could watch a porn for his birthday and do everything that they saw in the video. He was super excited until she screwed the pizza guy. Ryan Kinnell for $10. True story. Beardo texted me last week and said, Jeremy has dandruff. What's the best way to improve it? I replied, Head and Shoulders. 20 minutes later, he replied back, okay, now how do I give him shoulders? Ryan Kinnell for $10. Jeremy, Beardo, and Jay visited an orphanage in Orlando yesterday for Thanksgiving. It's heartbreaking to see their sad little faces with no hope, said Sally, age 6. Ryan Kinnell for $10. Jeremy losing his virginity was like his first football game. It hurt a lot, but at least his relatives came. Ryan Kinnell for $10. What did Jeremy What did Jeremy get on his SATs? Drool. Ryan Kinnell for $10. The human body is absolutely fascinating. Did you know if you take a human intestine and spread it out end zone to end zone on the football field, you get arrested? Matthew Hammond for $3. Did the writers for Stranger Things put as much effort in it as you described season 5? I tried to keep us on point describing season 5, but season 5 is padded. There is a lot of stuff that just didn't need to be there. And I know they're trying to make everything long. And my guess is each part will have a different focus, but you introduced basically a new character who became prominent, Holly. She's been there, but like she became prominent in a time where you should be just back to focusing on the older characters, and they felt like they were kind of put in the background. That being said, there's still good performances. There's some bad performances, but it's nowhere near as tight as season 4 was so far. And there's definitely like the identity politics that have always kind of been there, have been ramped up a little bit. And there is a big focus on the gay. And I said it on FNT, I like that they did something with Will. I truly do. It's just how they got there was hilarious. But I'm still okay with what they did with the character. It's just what the foundation of that is fucking funny. If you're a gamer, invest into GameStop. No. No. I know a lot of people did, and it saved it, and that's great. But I'm not a big investor into things unless they're tangibles, like gold and property, which probably isn't smart. It's probably good. You do need to invest in this stuff because just saving your money, it doesn't keep the interest doesn't keep up with the rate of inflation. So you do need to invest, I would say. And you could start small. I did. Jiggy Doss for 265 says, "Hail panel and chat. First, you all are awesome as fuck." Wow, thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks for all the content and the laughs. Gary, Disbrew, Az, and Drinker have inspired me to start streaming and making videos. Awesome. So if you peeps want to see gaming challenges, come check out my channel. And the channel is Jiggy Doss. Sorry, I can't give any more. You don't have to be sorry. You don't have, it's fine. Whatever you give is fucking brilliant. Or just watching. It's just brilliant. That's fine. Dretton VBD for $10. Hey, Gary, it was great to meet you in Egypt. Right back at you. I might go to Japan. I hope you do. Hail to the fellowship. Everyone who went on the trip became friends. Thanks to Forbidden Frontier, Wandering Wolf, and Ahmed. Ahmed was awesome. Ahmed was awesome. Great meeting you. It was fucking awesome hanging with you. And hopefully you make it to Japan. Because yeah, we all, it was a tight-knit group by the end, which was really cool. Reaper Ho says ho at the end for 580. Hail panel in chat. Is anyone planning on streaming Dispatch, or if you have played it, what do you think? As streamed it yesterday, and I'm going to do it closer to the holidays. I think a lot of people in the sphere, Drinker has played it too, and it's all been pretty positive. Ecky Thump, as opposed to Icky Thump, for $10 says Hollywood. It's only a model. Not so much anymore. 21 Palika has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Thank you very much. Jason Webster for $5 Australian dollars. Say, don't forget about your copy of Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus, and Alex Kurtzman is from Uranus today while stocks last. Fuck Alex Kurtzman. Oh, Ruben Christopher Haynes, Theory of Everything is toe. Okay. Now I get it. Jason Webster for 5 Australian dollars. Coming very soon, James Cameron's Dances with Blue Aliens 3. Yes. Avatar, guys. Avatar is coming. And I'm sure the pre-sales are going to be through the roof, record-breaking box office. IMAX screens will sell out, and nobody will talk about the movie. Nobody for a movie that makes that much money, that's genre, that's from James Cameron, you would think there'd be entire channels dedicated to like Avatar theory and Avatar lore. Shit, there's still a shit ton of A Song of Ice and Fire lore channels out there cranking out lore videos that are really good, by the way. Really good. David Lightbringer's my favorite. Really good production. There's also some fucking twats in that realm who celebrate the death of Charlie Kirk. Looking at you, Preston. Government worker Preston lives off the tax dollars of you and me, but he's an expatriate. But the other guys are really good. Really good. They're fun listens. David Lightbringer does great videos, but you don't see any of that shit with Avatar. None. There you go, Jay. Drunk 3PO. You could do an Avatar lore channel. But it's coming. And we're going to see it. Stymie for $4.99. Happy holidays, everyone. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. When's Hanukkah start this year? The 14th. Starts on the 14th. More than 90% of It's a Wonderful Life does not take place during Christmas, yet we rightfully call it a Christmas movie because it is, Scott Hara. But you're right. Thank you for the $9.99. Arg, another name for $9.99. Couldn't make the Egypt trip, but the wife and I just signed up for Japan. Yes. Also, just got your book. Looks great. Can't wait to read it. Brilliant. Arg, another name. Tell me what you think, honestly, please. Yeah, the Egypt trip. I only recently recovered from it. I got my first good night sleep like night before last. My first solid 8 hours of sleep in 2 weeks. And it was nice to get that. But, dude. Memory of a lifetime. Odinson for $5. Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie. It opens with Jingle Bell Rocks. And it's Shane Black. So, yeah. Who played the best Scrooge? Ducks don't count. If it's not George C. Scott, you're wrong and hurting others. Oh my God, I'm forgetting his name. Hang on. Scrooge, 1930s. I want to say it is, no. Is it? Okay, so there's the movie I watched the most as a kid was the one with Alistair Sim. He was always Scrooge to me. But then I saw George C. Scott. I think didn't Jason Robards play him too? So many people have played him. But Alistair Sim is still my Scrooge. George C. Scott is awesome, though. Bill Murray was good in Scrooged. I love Scrooged. I watch it every Christmas. Michael Caine and the Muppets. Yeah, Christmas Carol, which is just an all fucking timer. An all timer. It's one of my favorite all time stories, like ever. So I am excited to hear that Robert Eggers is going to be doing one with Willem Dafoe. And then Johnny Depp is going to be playing Scrooge in another version. And I'm going to watch the shit out of both. It's one of my favorite stories ever. Honestly, Patrick Stewart's one-man show. Did anybody get a chance, if you grew up in Southern California in the late 90s, early 2000s, especially in the LA area, did you ever get to see Patrick Stewart do his one-man show? I did. It's available on Audible if you want to get it. It's magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. I got to see him twice at UCLA. Depp as Scrooge is going to be great, and so is Willem Dafoe. Both of them are like top tier picks. A friend of mine said the Batman is greater than the Dark Knight. I'm not surprised. It's not in any way, shape, or form. Now, there's the arguments of Christian Bale's Batman's too grounded, the voice, all that stuff. I just recently watched The Dark Knight. It is a fucking magnificent, like top tier, one of the greatest superhero movies ever made. Now, is it a comic accurate Batman movie. No, not at all. I argue, and I think I'm right on this one, but I'm never 100% sure I'm right about anything because I'm not that arrogant. But I would argue that you haven't seen the comic book Batman on screen in live action. You've seen aspects of the comic book Batman in all the Batmans, but you have not seen a comic accurate general consensus Batman in live action. Now you have seen it in motion. It's called Batman the Animated Series. That's pretty much a good encapsulation of Batman. The best. It's the best version of Batman. And it's the best version of Gotham. It's the best version of the Rogues Gallery of villains. And it definitely, it borrows from the Max Fleischer cartoons. It's the perfect era. It's not grounded in any, and Batman is fantasy. So why they haven't taken that template, and honestly, the closest thing to that template is Burton's Batman, which, the animated series came out during that time. But we have yet to see a comic book accurate Batman. Maybe someday. Don't think we're getting it from James Gunn. That being said, the Batman actually was better than I thought it would be, because I thought it would just be all hot garbage. And the only video that I've ever been ratioed on, which is on Nerdrotic Live, which is on this channel, if you search, I think I'm still ratioed. Let's take a look. Is my Batman trailer reaction. Yep. Oh yeah. Where am I? Oh, that's when I'm just moving. Okay. I was like, holy shit, I'm going to share this. Let's go deep into antiquity here. Let's go deep into antiquity here. So that's when I just moved to our temporary house in San Diego while we were moving from San Francisco. So that's why you see a blank wall right there. That room was huge, by the way. But if you notice on the bottom, here, I'm gonna contribute. I'm gonna contribute to the ratio to make it stay that way. I was ratioed for this trailer reaction. Ratioed because I wasn't sure about Robert Pattinson. And I said at the time, I'm sick to death about grounded Batman. We did grounded Batman with Nolan. This is more grounded Batman. And his cape looks like a garbage bag. And it looks like a bad version. Not a good, like the Arkham Asylum costume was fucking awesome, but it looks like a bad version of that. And I was just like, I'm sick of this shit. Can we just get a fucking Batman that's a comic accurate Batman? Right? Got destroyed. Got destroyed. And then I ended up liking the movie more than I thought it was. The first 2/3. Third act sucked. Hey, you know what the Batman did, Eric? It made more money than Superman. And it spawned a great series. But the movie itself, Ryan loved it. despite there being too many good black people. Despite there being too many good black people. That was a good question, though. Meyer DeVries, who played the best Scrooge? All right. Welcome back, Gary. Did you find the vampire who stole the great grandpa's body in Cairo? JoJo reference. I did not. I don't know what that reference is. How do the Chinese watch Zootopia without getting hungry? Says Grenant for $4.99. Stranger Things officially confirms Nancy Wheeler's spinoff after season 5, volume 1 screen run. No. Ugh. Really? Hang on. Let me double check that. Oh, yes. Stranger Things, I'm just going to read it to you. Stranger Things spinoff of fan favorite character gets a release date. A Stranger Things spinoff based on the fan favorite character Nancy Wheeler has been announced at Netflix. It will be released after season 5. Nancy is played by a very skinny woman. It will be, does it get a date? No. There is no date. It's just getting a spinoff. Oh, it's a spinoff novel. Okay. About Nancy Wheeler to release in December. So it's just a novel. Who cares? It's just a book. Why's it got to be Black Friday? Asked Southeastern Kaiju for $2. Well, because Southeastern Kaiju, because it can't be White Friday. Ace, $15.89 for $10. You know what we really need a new show for? A show about a hero who travels the land saving the day. A Kung Fu Hercules Xena episodic type show. No need for story arcs, but could have them if they wanted. Exactly. We need to get back to that. Getting into adventures. Getting into episodic adventures. Victor Elstad for $5. George R. R. Martin shouldn't be called should be called George Hard R. Martin. Peace, folks. We've already done that one. Michael King for $20. Thank you. Today is my 56th birthday. You are fucking old, bro. I found your channel on FNT on December of 2019 after the release of The Rise of Skywalker. I'd like to thank y'all for the years of entertainment. I know I now follow all of you and many of the guests. Hail, Michael. Thanks for joining on. Happy birthday. You've caught up to me. Friday Night Whites for $1.99. Great FNT if Stranger Things doesn't interest you. Keith Michael for $5. The Stranger Things play is canon. The Mind Flayer came first. Henry fights the Mind Flayer until Henry gives in and allows it in. Vecna and Henry plus the Mind Flayer. They mentioned that. That's what they mentioned in the show. So they actually mentioned that in the show. That's in season 4. So that part of the canon is in season 4. But it's questionable. I'd have to go back and watch, but it's cool. They make it seem like Henry's in control of the Mind Flayer, but it could be the other way around, which I would prefer. But that is definitely in season 4. Is Stranger Things not just nostalgia bait? I mean, there is a lot of nostalgia bait in it, Matthew Hammond, but it's like, it's not specific to anything. It's nostalgia bait for the 80s. And they do get a lot of that stuff right. They do. Some not so. Some they get like certain songs, like they get the date of songs wrong once in a while, but they'll have a song on in the time that actually came out a year later, but it's not that big a deal. Henry was changed in the Nevada cave. He got his powers and his blood changed. Brenner uses Henry's blood to give powers to the kids, including 11. They're all connected through the blood. It's like blood magic. Keith Michael. Is this the Ryan show now? Yes, Friday Night Whites. Look up the Stranger Things play and things will make a lot more sense. Well, you shouldn't have to look up the play, for one. And the Duffer Brothers said that they could have done a lot more in these first 4 episodes to fill in those blanks. But I think they're mystery boxing it. So you will get those in part 2, which comes out Christmas Eve or day. But they could have done a lot more. And having to go look up a fucking play is not something you should have to do, especially one that's only playing in London right now. Kate Banfield for $19.99. I ordered the first round of 199 shirts through Rippaverse and no statues on my order. Is it because my part of my order is from Az? You're boring, Az. Is this your fault? I blame Az. NTR Uncle for $5. I'm tired of gay propaganda being shoved down my throat in media. I get enough of that from Beardo every Tuesday. I mean, that's a good point. Varn, it's an acronym, for €5 says, obligatory reminder for Gary, Az, and others to watch Freyrin. Beyond Journey's End. Season 2 is releasing in January. It is in the spirit of Tolkien. Ooh. TJ Jordan for $5. The season 5 clip of 11 training made me cringe and ask, why does 11 look like the Karate Kid training on invisible wires to become a Disney Jedi? Good question. Thoughts on Pluribus, dystopian sci-fi from the makers of Better Call Saul and X-Files. I like it so far. I do. I have questions, Rambone, on how, thank you for the 5 British pounds, on how you could possibly get multiple seasons out of this premise, but it's Vince Gilligan. Got to give the man his due. Griff Nizzle for 20. While far from only issue, Vecna ruined Stranger Things in season 4 for me. To go from cosmic horror to some guy, lame and gay, I'll die on that hill. Yeah, I was, and I'm still hoping that Vecna is like the conduit for the cosmic horror. And it not being just like, this was all created by the government. And yeah, I don't want, that would land flat for me. Iron Blimp for $20. I guess it shouldn't surprise me, but it's now canon that Vecna dumped a load down Will's throat and then turned him gay. I mean, that's one way to interpret it, but Will was always gay. Will was born gay. And as far as the tentacle thing, they're just doing like cosmic horror. Like, I know Pasobik went out there and said it was like a pedo scene, and it's like if that's what you see, but I mean, it is the big bad evil villain, but it was just a horror scene. That's all it was. I definitely have issues with the over representation of gay in it for sure, but that ain't it. BBC, boring broadcaster of boring crap. Jason Webster, you're not wrong. After seeing Tron Ares, I think Gleason assaulted the wrong Joker. Paul Kurtz for $5. I agree. Man, Jericho for 5 British pounds. Yeah, it started with a bunch of cool, nerdy boys, but as per usual, the girl boss thing took over. It did. And it's annoying now. It was there. It was definitely there. But like Nancy, especially in the first couple seasons, was likable. Robin in season 3 was likable. Quirky, likable, but I'm getting a little tired of and it's a trope and it's always going to be there. And we all had friends like this, but I'm just getting tired of the quirky character. The quirky girl nerd character is getting tired. So much of this shit is getting tired. And that's what happens when you take damn near 10 years to do 5 seasons of television. Tastes change, things change. And this is definitely made from an earlier era that has drastically changed in the last year, and tastes have drastically changed. Still though, there's likable characters. I just wish there was more of them. Jason Webster for $5 Australian. Ezra Miller, Stranger Things. Ha! Nothing stranger than me. Nothing. True. Where's he been? Are Chrissy and Ian okay on a sponsored silence? They're on a hunger strike. Friday Night Whites. They're on a hunger strike. Josh Kelsey, thank you for dropping $20 and walking away, because that's what Josh does. Hail, Josh. Just got here. Have you guys talked about the Stargate reboot yet? This is Car Riders for $10. Not much, because I don't think I'm going to have to watch this now. Shad's seen it. Some of us have seen it. Some of the crew has seen it. I'm pretty sure Disbrew did too, and we did discuss it. Thank you, Gary and the Fellowship, for all the entertainment, enthusiasm, and laughs. You all have got me through so much crap and trauma. Keep fighting the good fight for pop culture. Hail and Godspeed. Cheers. Thank you. St. Simeon for $9.99. Neon Pulse for $5 Australian. Have any of you seen the Deathstalker reboot that came out this year? Not yet, but I want to. Amazing 80s sword and sorcery in 2025. Highly recommend. My #1 movie of the year. Oh, fuck. Okay. I will watch it. And now we got a ton of shit to watch. I have to watch Age of Disclosure, Fackham Hall. I got to watch that. Got to finish Pluribus. A lot of stuff to watch. Sunny Hard R for $2. In Egypt, did you feel a Lysa Al Gaib Ryan there? No. Maybe a little bit. We did get to the sands of the desert a little bit, but not as much as I thought we would be. A lot of it's just sites that are pretty close to urban areas. Now, there was one, God, what was the name of it? It was Hot Shit something or other. God damn it. Egypt. So it's hot shit soup. Hot shit soup. Sounds like hot shit soup, but it's hot ship soup. Hot ship suit. We were at his temple. That it was actually moved, but we were at his temple. And we were in bumfuck Egypt. Yes. Hot shit soup. And we're there with the group, and a very surreal thing happened. I got recognized, and I'm like, what? So some guy from Spain who watches our channel, like rolled up, we were doing a picture, and rolls up and goes, "Are you Nerdrotic?" I'm all, "Yes, I am." I'm like, "No fucking way." But yeah, that was weird. Cool. Surreal. Recommend Man of La Mancha for musicals. That's a good one. Hood Jigsaw. That is a good one. Was Spaceballs on the list? I can't remember if Spaceballs was on the variety list or not. Hang on. I think it was. No. No, Idiocracy was on the list, but no Spaceballs. There was dude, that list was, I mean, it's meant to be that, but it was stupid. Put Airplane at #1 of the list. Naked Gun. I'm fine with Naked Gun being in the top 10, but #1 over. Like, even if you want to go classic, like Duck Soup, like if they put Duck Soup as #1, I'd understand that. But not Naked Gun. But as far as laughs are concerned, if you put it up to Airplane, pound for pound, it's pretty close. We just did the comedy arc with Mahler, and we went over all these movies, and hell, Top Secret wasn't on there. And that you get as many laughs from that as you do from Naked Gun and Airplane. But I think at #1 has got to be hilariously funny and have cultural impact, right? And I guess you could argue Naked Gun did. It spawned 2 sequels. But nobody's ever going to go, it's the greatest comedy ever made. Especially when it's basically a greatest hits from the show. Which was magnificent. Die Hard exists in the Family Matters expanded universe, and Carl Winslow saves John McClane. You can't convince me otherwise. I wouldn't dream of it, Craig. Thank you for the $10. Christmas lasts from Christmas Day to January 13th, and not one day more or less. P.S. Santa Claus is better than Father Frost. Okay. Griff Nizzle for $20. No, go back to arguing about Die Hard. I was so close. Oh. Star Wars and Stripes for $9.99. Is there a rise on streaming services around Christmas for Die Hard? I would say yes. Hence, it would be a Christmas movie. Oh, it's part of if you go to the holiday list, I bet you hang on. Let's go to Prime Video. Well, what's Die Hard streaming on? Really? Ew, I'm not going there. I wouldn't be surprised if it's part of I think it's on Hulu and D+. It's part of a holiday thing. You'll see Die Hard in there. It's not a fucking Christmas movie because when they edit it for TV back in the 90s, they would edit out 5 to 10 minutes that has any Christmas content in it. That doesn't matter, Craig. That's just editing for TV. If you have to edit out the Christmas stuff to make it not a Christmas movie, wouldn't that make it a Christmas movie? Specifically, using that logic. Thank you for the $10, Craig, but something to think about. Something to think about. Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. John McClane got the best Christmas present ever. Yes. I want a machine gun for Christmas. How do you understand why there is fighting in the NHL? Now do you understand why there's fighting in the NHL? I've always understood that. It's just dudes. Thank you for the $25. Hood Jigsaw for $5. It's the holiday season. Get along, guys. Oh, fuck no. Why start now? Dude, we are nobody when we are arguing, we are completely fine within 5 minutes. That's how dudes compartmentalize stuff. That's how you know they're men. They argue, they get mad, they get over it. We ain't got time to fuck around with fucking resentments and we get over it. The Long Kiss Goodnight is a Christmas movie. Sure. Gary, is 1992 space movie on that list? It should be The Chaplain, but it's not. Thank you for the 14 Zardozes. Can you guys get back to uploading FNT, the Nooners and BBC to iTunes, please? It's so much easier to listen to while commuting. Thanks. Big Bopper. We are. So you're in Europe. I'm wondering if we're getting blocked there, but I'll ask Garrett about it. Garrett, are you out there? You up yet? Oh, he's playing right now. We will, Big Bopper, we'll check into it. Is anybody else seeing that? Anyone else? I will check. Hang on. I will look right now. Give me a moment. Audible. Let's see. Let's search. Nerdrotic. Not Nerdotic. Nerdrotic. Oh, we're there. It's there. I'm wondering if it's a Europe thing. I'm wondering if it's a Europe thing. I will check. I will check. Rambo is a Christmas movie. First Blood. TJ Jordan for $5. Die Hard is a great Christmas movie. Just accept it already, Shad. No, Shad, the one thing I appreciate about Shad is he will die on the hill of any of his arguments, and I appreciate that. Gary, appreciate you and the crew always keeping it real. Tis much appreciated. Skull, the Berserker history. Thank you. Gary's autograph book shows up tomorrow. Finally, Sadist. I hope you got it. Stifler's dad for $9.99. If you could be cult leaders, what would be the name of your cult? Where would it be geographically located? And what group would you go up against? That's not a race or a religion. That is an entire live stream, because I've never thought about being a cult leader. You know what, Stifler's dad? I'd never be a cult leader because it just sounds fucking exhausting. Always keeping track of the members who are trying to leave and having control over, I mean, like your 15 wives. Like, who would fucking want 15 wives? Who'd want 2? God, you'd never get a fucking moment's peace. Keeping track of, like, hurting the cats of other, of humanity. It sounds incredibly exhausting. I know there's people who seek that kind of control and want that kind of control, and it's generally involved. It's absolutely equated to having a deep-seated self-loathing and inferiority complex mixed with narcissism, whatever. No, I couldn't even imagine it. I'd just be tired. A boy named Blue. You're my boy Blue for $9.99. Got all 4 wisdom teeth. Oh, and one is hurting. Got one. So he got them all pulled. Pain, 6 out of 10. Going to get them removed. Oh, you're going to get them removed. Hopefully soon. Impacted one is growing at an angle and grinding against one of my second molars. Yeah, I got them all out. Get those suckers out. Because that can affect you later in life with infections and stuff. Dirk for $2. I love hearing my name so much. Dirk. Durka. Udite for $10. I heard about a similar driving practice where people ignore lanes and honk to communicate. I guess that's a detailed language where they can indicate which direction they're coming from, going, etc. Yeah, and he's talking about Egyptian driving. Yeah, and it's something like that's cultural that you would have to learn there. And that probably explains why so many of them come here and cause accidents, because they're driving like they drive back home, which means we shouldn't be throwing licenses at people from India or Egypt until they learn to drive our way. Barn Bocock for $5 New Zealand dollars. You've been to the UK, Egypt, and soon Japan. When are you going to ride the Great Eagles to New Zealand for an epic Lord of the Rings tour? Let me be your driver, guide. You never know. You just never know. Something like that could happen in the future, possibly the nearish future. You just never know. Mexi Rage for $10. Hey, all. I have but one thing to look forward to, no matter what, who buys Warner Brothers. James Gunn is done, and even if Snyder comes back, I don't need to win. I just need Gunn to lose. Also, Badlands failed. Happy. Predator Badlands. Yeah, Gunn's not off to a good start, and considering he just announced a V for Vendetta show, which is on the nose, and a Jimmy Olsen show before Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Martian Manhunter. Like, what the fuck are we doing? As is Wonky Eyebrow for £2 British pounds. Cut the applause, Gary. Save 30 minutes every show. I can't. Grant Turnbull for 20 Australian dollars. I have a recipe for 5 cheese mac and cheese that Ryan might be interested in. The only cheese you actually need is dick cheese, but from 5 different men. and keep that buffalo chicken out of there. That shit is gay. Gayer than the dick cheese? Alien Blue for 20 New Zealand dollars. Got my end year bonus, and now so do you. Oh, thanks. Love you all. Hail to the fellowship. Hail to you. Congratulations on the bonus. As FNT starts, I'm 41. By the time it ends, I'll be 42. The answer to life, the universe, and everything. Seeing in my birthday with you guys and treated myself to the Hobbit graphic novel. Yes. So the Hobbit graphic novel written by Chuck Dixon is, the comic books are in graphic novel form. You can buy them, and I highly recommend it. It's really good. The art's good. The writing's great. Gouthier for $10 Rumble Rant says, God damn it, you fucktards. Why is the Rumble stream always fucked up? What's fucked up about it? Exactly. I mean, it's got problems. The UI's got problems. The streaming's got problems. I don't know if it's StreamYards or Rumble, but be specific. Let us know, and I can pass it on. Sorry about that. The Happy Camper YouTuber for $5 says, I hope everyone enjoyed Thanksgiving yesterday, or at least took some time to honor the spirit of it by being thankful for the good in your life and fellowship they enjoy, regardless of who that may be. Exactly. Have an attitude of gratitude. Try to have it every day, but really have it that day. And PGMD81 is gifted 1 subscription to Nerdrotic on Rumble. Yeah, so I'll go back and look it over. Gouther of like what's up messed up about the Rumble stream. That's the first I'm hearing about it. Now it's not the first time I've heard the stream's been fucked up. But thank you. Please let us know. Like, we don't know until we know. We don't know until we know. Does that make sense? We don't know until we know. So, okay, it says, Rumble says error when I try to like this. What? Silly chat. And it says, what? Somebody called me a Jew on Twitter. Like, you do know I'm German, right? I am German. Ach, you German. I am 2/3 the Axis powers. I am 2/3 the Axis powers. I am German and Italian and Scottish. Make of that what you will. I'm going to say Blue RS. I know that's probably not it, but I'm sorry. Thank you for the $9.99. What's up, man? Gary, longtime viewer. Looking forward to reading your book. Not intended to stroke your ego, but your story is incredibly inspirational. Keep it up. Not an inch back. Hey, if you get something out of it, that's awesome. It's just a story. There's in AA, there's no shortage of inspirational stories that I've heard throughout my time there. And it really does. That's why those meetings help. I think a lot of the perception is that the meetings are war stories, and sometimes it gets into it, but the vast majority are really inspirational, and it's pretty much how I got myself through God and family, like, out of this fucking hole. Now, which God, that's completely up to you in AA. Most people, it's the traditional version of God, but there's atheists in there who replace it with something. There's a lot of agnostics, but it's through a higher power, God, and family and fellowship, that somebody digs themselves out of an incredible hole that not a lot of people have sympathy for still. There's still a lot of sentiment out there that pull yourself up by the bootstraps and just quit. Well, if we could, we would. If you want to call that a weakness, I would call it if we want to get scientific, a brain chemistry thing. Something we're born with. Defect, whatever you want to call it, disease. I know a lot of people have a problem with the disease aspect, and I did at first too, but you got to look at it like it's because, and I understand why people have a problem with it. And this is a very good point. If you bring it up, it's using the disease to keep yourself from being accountable. It is not meant to do that. That is not the purpose of that. It is specifically stated that you are still accountable for all your decisions. What it is it's a disease that requires a conscious decision. Like once the trigger is pulled, it's very difficult for us to pull it back. But once you're aware of that, then you're still aware. I am still responsible. I am still accountable for all my actions. It does not relieve me of any responsibility of any of my actions at all. And that's what I told my sponsees. That's what my sponsor told me. It's just an aspect of, God, why can some people just put a drink down and I can't? And it is a brain chemistry thing. It's no different than probably dyslexia or the admittedly overdiagnosed ADHD and all that stuff. But that's the concept of it. But I think a lot of people, and again, rightly so, have a problem with people saying disease. It's like, oh, it's not my fault. Well, it's still your fucking fault. Still my fault. Still my fault. But one of the great things about AA is you can go out and relapse 10 times and you go back to those meetings 10 times and you're equally as welcome every time. Nobody's judging you because they've all been there. We've all been there. Very few times does somebody go, I'm done, and just quits. It's usually a crash landing. It's usually a crash landing. Where was I? Okay. Wild Comanche. Fizzenthorpe for 20. That is a good topic to bring up. Gary, I hope things are good between Az and Ryan. They got pretty tense on FNT. Az was visibly pissed and being yelled at like that. Everything's fine. It's not the first time that we've had massive arguments on that. And I mean, some stuff is kind of played up a little bit, you know. But I think yes, I think they were genuinely mad at each other and they genuinely got over it within minutes. Fuck, Jeremy and I have yelled at each other pretty hardcore on that show. And we're like, what's up, dude? How you doing? Afterwards. No, all is good. All is good. How will Aegon's conquest be adapted? Asked Brendan Lucas for 10 British pounds. Will Myria of Dorne be ultimately the main antagonist? Will Aerion, the dad, initially warn against an invasion of Westeros and want the dragons to fly off? Those are all really good questions. Here's my fear. And it's legit. Because one of the prominent rumors is that Aegon had no children. He married two of his sisters and had no children. Now, he preferred one over the other and did his duties, but would they make Aegon the Conqueror gay in a show? Yes, they would. 100%. So that would suck. But how would they go about it? They'd bring in, I think they'd remove a lot of the mystery, and this is why they've kind of held off on doing it. But since they kind of spoiled it in House of the Dragon, it's going to have a lot to do with prophecy. And maybe we'll find out a little more about the destruction of Valeria and the 14 Flames. Was it the Faceless Men? Was it an inside job? I really love that theory. Go to David Lightbringer's Valeria was an inside job video. Very good. Who will be the antagonist? I think it'll be Westeros. I think it'll be Westeros for the most part. But I mean, it'll just be, how do you make it an engaging show when so much of the conquering was just people giving up and bending the knee? Now there was some, there's the field of fire and all that shit, but Black Heron, like Heron Hall, that would be fucking awesome to see. That'll be, I think it would be a good show. You just make it like a couple of seasons. That's all you need to make it. I mean, honestly, that's House of the Dragon can be an anthology series. They end with they just keep calling it House of the Dragon and then go to different points of the Targaryen timeline. And you can even do Robert's Rebellion under House of the Dragon because that's when it falls. I know they're not going to do that, but you could. I read that one. Trying to get to where I left off. I think it will be dope. I think that would be one that would be, for one, it's got an end. And it would give a ton of background on like why he did it. Okay. I kind of find it bullshit that Paramount made a Hallmark Enterprise G ornament SDCC exclusive, and I live on the opposite side of the country. Yeah. eBay, I guess. I mean, what's it going for though? Gary, how can you not remember Jamie Lee Curtis's perfect breasts? And I remember those. I remember the titties. It's been a decade since I've seen it. And I've seen it a lot, but I've slept since then. But those tits, I've never forgotten, ever. Joe Rogan on American Alchemy just posted telling his recent UFO encounter. Oh, shit. It's rare when he goes on shows, too. Thank you, Gus. Hey, brother, when's the audiobook out? Being dyslexic, reading it is a problem, and I get frustrated, but audiobooks are my ticket. Love you and yours. Early next year. It's not going to be before Christmas, but it's going to be early next year. Represent your book out with the name spelt wrong. Yes, he did. We talked about it earlier on. That's why, here, hang on. That's why it says this on the bottom. Nerdrotic. So he sent out the certificate of authenticity with the name spelt wrong. So we are, and I apologize for that. And we are reprinting them. I mean, like, seriously, Boomerang's kind of on brand. But yeah, saw that this morning. So we are having them because they're numbered. So they're going to be reprinted and set out immediately. Sorry about that. I really want to go to Egypt someday. Any tips? I would say once you get there, it's not that getting there is expensive, but once you get there, it's not expensive, but really save your money to stay in the nicer hotels. Travel with a group. I would travel with a tour for sure. Safety in numbers, and keep your expectations pretty high for the sites, pretty low for some other stuff. But yeah, it's something I've wanted to do since I was 8 years old. And it took me almost 50 years to get there. But yeah. I would say don't skimp out on the flight. Like, save your money for a good, comfortable flight because it's long, depending on where you're coming from. A friend of mine said, I read this one already. We already discussed that. Your friend is wrong. Cecil was the best Scrooge, hands down, says Russell Hall. 8 hours sleep. I have not slept more than 4 hours at a time since the accident years ago. Takes lots of melatonin. Take lots of melatonin, Lyceria, and I can't even pronounce that other one to do that. Sorry, Eric. Oh, yeah, because you're in pain all the time. That sucks. Nordstrom for 500 Martian pesos. One of my all-time favorite comedies is Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Love that movie. Steve Martin and Michael Caine had great chemistry, even though they supposedly hated each other. Did they hate? Oh, I think I heard something about that. I did hear something about that. Have you seen Last Samurai Standing yet? Pretty cool, in my opinion. I haven't, WG, but I want to see it. So many people have recommended it. And it's just a movie. So I'd have time. I'd have time. Give me just a second. Back. Sorry. Thank you, WG, for the $10. And I get back and there's 50 things to watch. And I'm like, I mean, it's such a good problem to have. I love my job. I'm probably going to spend all day just watching shit. Not football. Not football. And yes, there is a Forbidden Frontier tonight. Absolutely 100% there is a Forbidden Frontier tonight. We're going to talk Egypt. It's going to be fun. Hopefully Age of Disclosure too. I might do a lot of people hyping that up. We'll see if there's anything new in it. I'm guessing no. I think the guy who played Walder Frey on Game of Thrones will be a good Scrooge. Oh, that really would be. Yes. What is his name again? It is. Oh, what happened there? Hi. Hello. Why did I get small? Plays Filch too. David Bradley. God, as soon as I fucking looked it up, it's David Bradley. He'd be excellent. Gary, in The Dark Knight, when the Joker burns the mountain of money, that was foreshadowing for Hollywood today, burning billions of dollars. And that's why we use that clip a lot. It's not about the money. It's about the message. Batman with Jack Nicholson will always be my favorite. Great movie. My favorite Batman movie is Batman Returns. Gary, ask Chad if he can send me a 70s series Land Cruiser. For some gay reason, we can't get them in the U.S. Look them up. They are basic low tech. Let's see. Oh, okay. So are you calling back to when God, those look fucking good. Oh, they're sweet. So are you referring back to our conversation where the kind of vehicle you want, that could survive or at least be quickly repaired during an electromagnetic pulse or the power grid going down due to a solar event? You'd want a 2-stroke engine, a motorcycle, something with a carburetor, something to that effect. I am a fan. That Land Cruiser looks nice. I'm currently looking for a 1985 Toyota pickup because I had one. That was essentially the first car I ever bought. I was given a car by my parents, but the first car I bought was after I was given 2 cars. So I was given a Pontiac Grand Safari by my parents, which I drove into the ground. And then my grandma's neighbor gave me a 67 Cutlass Supreme with 22,000 miles on it. She drove it nowhere. Spitfire engine. Everything was spotless on that thing. And my dumb fucking ass got busted and had to get a lawyer. So I had to sell it to get a lawyer. So the first car I bought myself was a 1985 Toyota pickup with a 22R engine. and I loved it. Loved it. I'm looking for one again. The other day you mentioned that you had a chip chucking, cow throwing pie contest in Oroville. Haha. I work in Oroville sometimes. Never won an award for that, said Demi Moore's tapeworm. Yes. Well, I had some cousins in Oroville, California, and I did win a cow chip chucking contest there. Imagine what would happen if Hollywood hired writers and filmmakers on the basis of arbitrary box ticks and not talent. I know, imagine, English bachelors, crazy. Oh, and please keep me posted on when you're in San Francisco. I'd love to meet you guys and help to pack, brother. Have you seen The Last Bus yet? I have not. But we're heading back to SF in January. One last time. Almost died on the same street. I always watch Christmas with the Joker. There you go. No joke. As I'm listening to this stream, your book arrives. Can't wait to dig into it. Hail to you and the fellowship. Oh, excellent. Enjoy. Signing up for Duolingo to brush up on some Japanese. So excited. Oh, Trish. So is that like, I have no hope of learning Japanese that quick. I'm just gonna, I'll rely on you. You can be my translator, Trish. I'll see you in Arizona. Comic Accurate Joe, thank you for becoming a member. We appreciate you. Hot Shit Soup was a woman. One of the few female. Yes, you're right. It was a woman. You're right. It was a woman. It was one of the few female. It was a girl boss pharaoh dressed like a dude, probably trans. But yes, you're right. Hot Ship Suit was a chick. In Europe, everything is fine. Die Hard has been my Christmas movie since the past century. There you go. It's decided. Again, Violent Night and Fat Man are Christmas movies. I love Violent Night. I do. If the top 10 isn't dominated by Mel Brooks and Monty Python, your list isn't valid. No, Badlands, the only good land is Mobland. Hell yeah. Can't wait for season 2. Gary, longtime viewer, looking forward to reading the book. I read this one already. As hated to be interrupted in his interrupting. Yeah, I know. The gall of that guy. What does success look like for studios post woke? That's a big question. Matthew. Oh, I think baby steps. I don't think you recover from this disaster going, everything's fine. Let's go. Brushing the dust off. I think you really need to pare down budgets. Like woke is never going to completely go away. Woke is not dead. Hollywood is infested with leftists and activists, and it would require a Twitter purge at every studio for it to completely go away. But if the bean counters, through rolling back DEI, through AI, Clownfish made a video about this, and they're fucking right. Through AI, they are using things like AI as an excuse to get rid of woke people because they're finding out, even though they agree with each other politically, they're fucking annoying and they're terrible to work with, and they're not really that creative or good. So they're gonna have to return back to a merit system, and it's gonna be have to be back to basics, Matthew. But I don't have a crystal ball on this one. I think the reality is that it just slowly dies. Now we'll still get good stuff once in a while, but streaming is the future. It is absolutely the future. That's where they put all the money, and all the A-list actors are now going to streaming. You have now pretty much gutted your minor leagues with independent film, and those middle of the road independent film movies are now becoming series or movies that are going to go straight to streaming. There's a great post. So a lot of business models have been broken. And as far as theaters are concerned, they will always be around. They're just going to be, they'll be around in the sense many years from now as vinyl is, right? So what do the studios look like post woke? There's going to be less of them. There's going to be fewer studios, and those fewer studios are going to be the side hustle of tech. That's the future of Hollywood. Heads up, I bought you a hardback of Decipher as a memory touchstone to read it. Check your email for tracking number. Will do. Thank you. Thank you, Percent Night. Appreciate it. Rockbert for 5,000 Martian pesos. Thank you. I gotta say, sometimes I think the destruction of Hollywood has been 100% on purpose. I mean, if everything you do fails to make money, logic says you eventually stop doing that. But the bastards keep going. It's insane. Do you think there is a little of that at all of this? Cheers, Gary. Do I think that, like, they're torching all of Hollywood on purpose? No. Do I think they're torching parts of it on purpose? Yes. Yes. Breaking business models like licensing. And they're basically just using the theaters now to prop up streaming. There's certain business models they want to be done with, and there's certain things they want to be done with. I'm positive all of management wants to be done with unions. I don't think they ever will be. But, and I think there's a lot of management that wants to be done with woke, but can't be. But as far as making money is concerned, and this is something the financial analysts can explain much better than me, but I'll do it. I'll try to do it generally. Profitability used to be attached to a show or a movie, and it no longer is. Now it's a collective that goes into a big pot of streaming. So individual things don't necessarily need to be massive successes. There just needs to be content to keep eyeballs on that streamer and to reduce churn. You understand? So it's not like the individual movie being released in the theater or the show being on broadcast and getting ads. Something like Stranger Things on Netflix carries a lot of other shows. We had to talk about this on Friday Night Tight. Stranger Things is probably the closest thing to a water cooler cultural phenomenon that's been, I won't say consistent, that's lasted long enough to be one since Game of Thrones for streaming, but it still isn't anywhere near as Game of Thrones because people are watching it at different times. Like, most people aren't done watching, like, it's getting tons of views, but most people aren't done watching all 4 episodes of Stranger Things. That's probably why I'm going to wait a couple of days for the review, because I'm going to spoil the shit out of it. But it's such a different business model now that they have to choose streaming. And I don't know how profitable it is, but it's making more money than movies. So it's generating more money than film. Now we can get into the profitability of it, and I don't think it's very profitable, and it's not as profitable as film was or broadcast was in the past, but they're all in. But is it on purpose? It almost seems that way, but I don't think all of it is. No, I don't think they want to burn their business model. I think they want their businesses to be around. I think they want to make money. I think they're just not adapting fast enough. And that's why, as an industry, it'll always be around, but it won't be as significant as it once was. Entertainment will be decentralized. And we'll start getting it from a lot of other countries that, quite frankly, Hollywood was gatekeeping to begin with, but a lot of these countries have now caught up, right? Does that mean Iron Man 3 is a Christmas movie? No. Iron Man 3 is not a Christmas movie. Gary, best 4x4 truck is the 1960s International Scout SUV and pickup. will drive up a cliff and it's easy to repair. Look it up. I had 2 of them. I do not deny that. That would be awesome to have one. When y'all get to Japan, most stuff in Tokyo is an English translation. The crew will be fine navigating. There you go. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Yeah, but that Hollywood question, it's too big to answer. But streaming generally is not profitable yet. Generally speaking, is it profitable for Netflix? Yes. Is it profitable for Disney Plus? No. Paramount Plus? No. HBO Max? No. Is it profitable for something like Tubi? Yes. It's pretty easy. But will they ever figure out streaming the way they figured out VHS and DVD and even Blu-ray? No. No, because there was a progression that they followed with those that really fucking worked. And now it's a free-for-all. And it's already been proven that you can keep your movie in theaters for 6 months and then do streaming, and the streaming will do just fine. It won't be any different. The only reason you rush a movie to streaming, Superman, is because it's not doing as well as you thought it would do, and you need to maximize those profits. Now, I'm not going to run out here and tell you Superman was a flop, right? But I could tell you quite confidently that it did not do as well as they thought it would do and wanted it to do. And that's why it went to streaming in fucking 30 days. And there's no rationalizing that. Don't even try. It's one thing to like the movie, but to sit there and tell us, well, especially the same people who are telling us Deadpool and Wolverine didn't make any money, but Superman did. I think both those movies eked out a profit, but it wasn't anything near what you want with the investment. Countries have caught up. Hollywood has regressed. Yes. Now, I would argue, the UK regressed. The UK, in my opinion, had, in a lot of cases, just as good writing as the US. Maybe not as high as production value, but in some cases, like they were just as good as the US and better in certain, especially with acting, better acting overall. They have regressed even more than the US has. So UK has like fallen off a fucking cliff as far as production of television production, and movie TV production. USA has definitely regressed where Asian markets have progressed. And they did it to themselves. They did it to themselves. I mean, like, it is unquestionable, Matthew, that American comic books and American animation has lost a generation, going on generations, to the Eastern market. It's unquestionable. So all the kids that were reading Spider-Man have moved on to read My Hero Academia. Just pick your manga. One Piece. There's an entire, One Piece is generational now. How do you like to see that protest in Mexico? And what are they wearing? Straw hats. What flag are they flying? The fucking One Piece flag. That was insane. I was in Egypt when that was happening. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's a shame because it didn't need to be that way. What iconic, affordable, Amazing Spider-Man comics should I get? I got Nothing Could Stop the Juggernaut for $20. How cheap can I get Amazing Fantasy 15? So Nothing Could Stop the Juggernaut. It's one of my personal favorite comics because I just read it over and over again as a kid. But Spider-Man runs that are somewhat affordable. Go look into Spectacular Spider-Man, because for a time, it was better than Amazing Spider-Man or just as good. But if you go into the 200s, so that's where the Amazing Nothing Could Stop the Juggernaut. But that was when basically John Romita Jr. was doing the art, but it was really done by like Bob Layton. He was finishing up, but it looked really good. The 200. So issue 200. See, because when it gets to 300, it gets expensive because you got the first appearance of Venom. Todd McFarlane gets on, and those are some pretty good issues. But like just good fucking solid Spider-Man, 200 to 250. And then you do I don't know, from 50 to 100 of Spectacular Spider-Man. Just start digging through those back issues and you're good. Amazing Fantasy 15, the cheapest one you will get at I wouldn't recommend getting a 0.5. I'd say the lowest you want to get is a 1. You probably want a 1.5 because a 1 can still have a big piece missing out of the cover. But off the top of my head, Jose Taco, you're paying $14,000 for a low grade. And that jumped. So one of the first things I bought from eBay was an Amazing Fantasy 15. I sent a check, a certified check to the East Coast, and I got my book. It was about a 1.5. I paid $1,375 for it. My first wife chewed my fucking ass out. That book is now worth $15,000. Pretty good investment. Got rid of the wife, kept the book. Got a better wife. That's the way it goes. Sometimes you got to get that first one out of the way. And the first Amazing Spider-Man #1 I got was in a comic shop in Pacific Beach in 1997. And I spent my entire paycheck on it. Again, pissed the first wife off for $900. $900. Try getting, and it was a solid 6.5. I got it for $900. Things worth thousands. Shit, the Batman #1 I bought almost 20 years ago with Melissa, who okayed it for 10 grand. 10 grand. That was every penny I had. This is when I had the shop. So I used the shop fund and wiped out the shop fund. I had no money to pay Diamond after this. Got it, but I had to pay Diamond out of my own pocket, but not the shop pocket. That thing is worth, well, let's see what it's worth. It's worth a lot. Amazing Fantasy 15, kind of tough to get these days. Kind of tough. A lot of the great back issues I got, guys, walked right into the store. Got my first Daredevil #1, walked into the store. X-Men #1, Hulk #1, Journey into Mystery 83, Tales of Suspense 39, Strange Tales 110. I can't tell you how many first appearances of Deadpool I got. Tons of Amazing Spider-Man 300s, like just a lot. So the keys just walked in over time. The keys just walked in. Now, I sold a lot of them. I flipped a lot of them because that's what I'm supposed to do as a business. The worst thing you could do as a comic shop owner is well, it's no different than drug dealing. Don't get high off your own supply. But I did. I did. I collected. I got a picture to show you guys. Hang on. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is, right here. Okay. So what I used to do, to all the fine folks out there who said, I've never read any comics. Well, what I used to do, especially when a movie came out, is I tried to make my store fun. I tried to make it worth the trip, whether you bought something or not, because I respected the fact that people would drive out to my store, get on a fucking train and drive across the bay, drive across, take the K line. So you take the K line in San Francisco, you stop off at my store, and like, it's not easy. Pay for parking. I respected the fact that you took the time out of your life to walk in my door, whether you buy something or not. So I wanted to make your trip worth it, because I've gone to plenty of comic stores where there's blank fucking walls or some stupid diamond provided poster. And I know not everybody's got money, but shit, you could afford paint. You could be creative. You could do decoupage with old comics. You could do something. Make your store fun. Make it an experience. So I tried to do that with my limited resources. So I'm like, I'll use what I've got, comics. I'll use what I've got, comics. So when you walked in my store, I wanted people to gasp. I had life-size figures. I had action figures everywhere. And then I do something really stupid, because I had 15-foot walls. I'd put complete runs of classic comics starting from first appearance around the whole shop. And I did that with X-Men. I did that with Iron Man. I did it with Thor. I did it with Daredevil. I did it with Justice League. I did it with Hulk, Wolverine, again, all X-Men, Fantastic Four. I also did it with Spider-Man. Because your time is valuable. A lot of people don't get in the comic book sphere is customer service. It's something that's kind of foreign to them, because they've never had to really deal with it. That's where the shop owners took the brunt of the criticism. They got shop owners, rightfully so, get a lot of criticism for being too much of a gatekeeper, but they really were on the front lines of the customer, and they had to explain why books were late. They had to do a lot of things, but they also recommended shit they loved. That's our job as a comic shop owner, was to recommend things I love and like, and connect you with your story, because we're not going to like the same things. But once you get to know a customer, you're like, oh, I know this person's going to like this. And I'd set it aside, and they either took it or didn't, but it was always being honest. Like if they said, what do you think of this comic? And I thought it sucked, I would say, it sucks. Don't buy it. Because that trust was way more important to me than one stupid sale on a comic. That gets lost on a lot of people. Like a lot of people. So here is, I wish I had the full thing, but I had Amazing Spider-Man, AF-15 to, I think, almost 500, because that's all I could fit, displayed around my entire store in order. In order. And yes, I had all those, basically most of them were Dynamic Forces head busts, but some were Sideshow. You can see the Batman Sideshow, Green Goblin, Captain America on the left, but the shorter ones, those are Alex Ross Dynamic Forces, and then of course there's the Brandon Lee one. Wish I still had that one. Fuck, that's tough to find. But my whole thought was that it's just like you walk in and it's like Craven, you're at Craven's place, and he's got all the superheroes' heads that he's defeated. But yeah, you can see. By the way, all the annuals too. So we did the annuals, then we did Amazing Spider-Man 1 through, and then on this wall alone, you're already at Todd McFarlane right behind Iron Man's head there. It could never do that now, because my store would get broken into and all the shit would get stolen. But you know what? If you, Jose Taco, if you look right above Green Goblin's head, You could see Nothing Stopped the Juggernaut, the 2 issues right there. 2 of my favorite issues with Madam Web. They're right there. So that whole line right there is just affordable, good shit of Amazing Spider-Man right there. There's Will-O-the-Wisp. There's the Tarantula. First appearance of Hobgoblin is in there. Good shit. And we did that all the time. God, there's some of my autographed pictures that are gone that I left with the store. Fucking Brian Hibbs got. Like we have Noel Neal's signed one, Lou Ferrigno, way on the top. Peter Mayhew. If you go and look at the center of the picture, I don't know if you can see my cursor. You can't. You see Chewbacca up there? Peter Mayhew came to my store. It was fucking rad. It was rad. JR Hike for $4.99. I'm seriously considering that Japan trip, but I can't find the prices of the optional itinerary items. Any chance you know how much the 4-day pre-trip? Not a clue, but if you shoot an email to Mrs. Nerdrotic at Gary@nerdrotic.com or a DM to X-Ray Girl, they can answer that question for you. The optional itinerary items. So the optional, those are add-ons. I'm wondering, so you're asking if you could just do the add-ons as your trip. That's a good question, and I don't know. But the missus can answer that for you. Sorry, I couldn't. Alex Belfour. I went through 0708 strike as IATSE Local 44. You guys are the true workers of Hollywood, though, by the way, the true craftsmen. So I have respect for IATSE. Production was leaving before then to Canada. Then after the strike, it was Georgia and Europe. Newscomb never cared. Too late now. Yep, and that's it. It's really the California policy that drove so much away. So would you like me to email you? I'm serious about helping you move. I drew some comic covers for you and Az. Still can't afford to go to a meetup. It's all good. We can meet up for lunch, man. You don't have to help us move. It's all good. It's just, I honestly don't even know what's in that fucking storage facility. I know I got some leftover comics there. I know my long box full of Miles Morales' first appearance. I have a long box full of Miles Morales' first appearance somewhere in San Francisco. Regarding last FNT, why was Galaxy Quest didn't make the comedy list? Because it's already on the top Trek movie list. That's a good reason, but it still should be in. Galaxy Quest is great. Just came out in 4K, by the way. Can't wait to watch it. Hale, how long before streamers start charging for certain shows within their platforms? Charging for certain shows? What do you mean? I don't understand the question. Oh, okay. So you're talking about like a la carte. So you sign up. Okay, I get it. Sorry. I'm slow in the uptake. So a streamer like Netflix goes, yeah, you have this subscription, but this is a premium show. This is an extra special doodad premium show that you will have access to eventually. But if you want to see it early, you have to pay a club membership or some bullshit like that. It'll happen. So you're saying charging for shows that you already have, you already pay a streamer for. Well, they do that with video on demand, but you're talking about like specific shows. Oh, that's a good question. And I think soon you get, and they'll call it like early access or some bullshit like that. Do you guys, I totally think something like that would happen. 100%. I mean, in a way they do. Yes, they do it because they have the ad tier and the not ad tier. But he's talking about a specific show. Like Netflix is making Stranger Things season 6. And if you want early access to it, you can pay $10. That's a great point. Well done. Well done. Kurt, curious what you thought of Astro City. I loved it. Apparently, this is rare. I loved Astro City. Some Alex Ross goodness. Kurt Busiek. I collect my boogers. They're my magic nose goblins. Thank you, Sturgeon. 510. Everybody's got a hobby. I remember going to Oklahoma and meeting like a fourth cousin, who we never went back to, by the way. And he showed me his fingernail collection with great pride. And my first thoughts were your thoughts, even as a young 8-year-old lad. Where's the murder basement? Can we get out of here, Dad? Gary, I have a cousin that has an entire original sets of Superboy, Superman, etc. He doesn't think they're worth that much. Individually, they're not. As a set, it depends on how far back they go, but they're not. I was able to, as remembers, I was able to find on eBay during COVID a huge run of Superman action, Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, and Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane, and a bunch of extras for like $1,800. And it was, and I'm not kidding, it was like 10 short boxes and a couple long boxes. That's a song. That's getting it for a song. Yeah, DC stuff, Superman stuff, not worth a ton of money. Alex Belfour for $10. Gary, my comic shop was Blue Moon Comics in San Rafael. I went there. Sam, the owner, is a great guy and perfect example of what you mentioned a comic shop owner like yourself should be. So Blue Moon is where I had my pull list when I worked at Tesla. Alex, is it still there? I know he had like his rent was high. Yeah, it's still there. Closes at 5:00 today. Yeah, super nice guy. I mean, they basically just had new releases. They had some decent back issues, but you know, he was really fucking good on his pull list, man. He never missed a book, and you know, was really great with the communication. So if you're in the San Rafael area, I can highly recommend Blue Moon. That was the last place I had a pull list. Well, I have a kind of a pull list at a local comic shop here, but like with new releases and stuff. And I walked in, I'm like, get everything. I want everything Spider-Man, everything Daredevil, everything Ghost Rider, you know, that kind of pull list. Unfortunately, it was right around the time most of it just sucked. But hail Blue Moon Comics. I think that super was more referring to streamers like YouTubers. Oh, well, that's what I first thought, Alex. But like, and that's why I was like, I don't understand that question. Referring to streamers like YouTubers, like you would charge for FNT, but not for a nooner. I would not do that. It's kind of happening already with membership stuff, but you really, as a content creator, it would be wise to give your members exclusive stuff that you know they would like, that would be specific to people who really were into the channel, but you don't take regular shows like Tim has done in the past and throw it behind a paywall. I just don't think that's a good practice. I mean, people could do what they fucking want. That's fine, but I would not do that. No. Would YouTubers start doing that? Yes. Sure. I think some would. 100%. But I think that, I mean, that kind of defeats the purpose. The whole point is like, this is free. And with that free, there's the expectations of it's not super produced. You're going to get a lot of and-ums. You're going to get a lot of boomerisms. Just general retardation, which is basically in our sphere. Basically in our sphere. But that's what I first thought. I'm like, wow. But I think a lot of people do that kind of already through memberships. But would YouTube set up a thing where like FNT is now going to cost you $2 or $3 to watch? Fuck no. What I do? No. And that would, if you want a quick way to piss everybody off, that would be it. Yeah, there's Patreon and stuff. But I think what you're talking about, I mean, I don't want to get in your head, but you're talking about like specific shows or videos. That'd be even worse. That would be even fucking worse. You better have some confidence in your shit to think, well, I'm just going to start charging for that. Like there's probably like 10 channels on YouTube that could probably get away with that. Does Nick Fuentes pay for his show? I don't know. I don't think he's monetized. I don't know how he makes money. He must, but maybe it's through just donations or something. But that, I mean, that's what ad reads are for. Ad reads are for to keep it free to, I mean, ad reads are, I think they're mainly for, channels with employees that have employees to pay and stuff, but it's extra scratch. And that's what keeps it free. But like charging for a specific show, that's insane. That's absolutely, especially one that's going to have like, you're going to pay for a show and then it's going to have, you're just mentioning it in there and super chats. Like what? No, it's ridiculous. So of course it'll probably happen, but not here. Not here. I'm fine with ad reads on streams. I do not like them in videos and never will do it. And on the main channel for videos, like ever. Ever. I'm glad to see Blue Moon's still around. That's cool. Yeah, so Fuentes does good on donations. Yeah. I imagine he does. I think a lot of people do. Watch Stargate SG-1 while with white cover art on Amazon Prime. Well, if I do a SG-1 rewatch, I'll definitely probably do a member stream of just reviewing it just in chunks. I wouldn't do it per episode. That would take the rest of my life. But we need an animation equivalent of Nerdrotic or CR. Well, AI might provide. Gary in 2 months. Pay me my shekels for FNT. I'd rather quit. Gary, I don't think you understand. My cousin, the original #1 Superboy Superman series. So Superboy #1. Okay. Superboy #1. I have this book. Asking price for this. I don't know if this is asking price. This is not worth. In good condition is $3,900. An 8.5 is $23,000. But again, that's asking price. That is asking price. Excuse me. You're welcome. Thanks for the Sunday stream. Very enjoyable. I'm glad you liked it. We're wrapping things up. DSP treats his audience like employees. His fun streams are like board meetings. Hit the goal, people, or no more video game streams. Yeah, I don't understand why. I mean, it's part of his shtick, and he's going to outlive us all. I don't get it. But ultimately, it's the viewer that decides. But yeah, I anything I know from DSP is from Gundam and Az. And I'm sure it helped him being on Asmongold. And I totally get what Asmongold was doing. And he was trying to do he's like trying to get the guy off of asking for donations all the time and just, I don't know, provide good stuff. And good can be relative, but entertaining stuff that helps people pass the day. Like the best we can be here on YouTube, especially if you're a streamer, is your AM radio. Your AM radio from the 90s, people at work, the working man, the working woman have it on, mostly working man, had Rush on and Jim Rome and Michael Savage and all the other stuff. And then there's the crowd that listened to NPR, which were just no fucking fun. No fun at all. But I digress. That's the best we can be, right? Keep the working man and the working woman in mind. Because there's truck drivers out there. And that's what I was doing. Shouldn't have been, but I was listening to a ton of shit at work. But yeah, Opie and Anthony. Loved Opie and Anthony. Love Anthony Cumia. He's great. The working gays, hey, they work too. Okay. They work too. They pay their taxes. Coast to coast. Hell yeah. No, I that's all I was a blue collar working class guy for most of my life when I wasn't rose from abject poverty to working class, was very happy there. Pretty stoked. Have my little comic collections. I listen to the radio all day at work. So I was a delivery guy. So I listened to Jim Rome every day. Look forward to it every day. Listen to Rush. Then later on, Michael Savage, who is based. And he is based in San Francisco. Based in San Francisco. Remember Garibaldi from B5? He had a radio show too. He was based. Jim Rome used to be great. I would even say Jim Rome is a inspiration in the sense that Howard was back in the day, because they would just talk shit. And Jim Rome used to talk shit. Now he doesn't, but Jim Rome, when he had his callers call, and remember what his saying was, have a take and don't suck. Words to live by. Yeah, and he came up from the mighty 690 down in San Diego. Yeah, R.I.P. Jerry Doyle. But he was kind of like libertarian, right? Right-leaning libertarian. Oh, Chrissy Everett clip. Who could ever forget the Jim Rome Chrissy Everett clip when he got fucking punched? And that idiot became a quarterback for the Chargers and sucked there too, because he didn't have the mindset. All the skill, no mindset. The Mighty 690. Come on, you guys remember the Mighty 690 in SoCal? Even the LA people know who the Mighty 690, because the Mighty 690 was broadcast out of Tijuana, so it got to all it because it had an antenna higher than any, and it had more wattage than any American one because it wasn't under the FCC. So it would broadcast AM radio to Southern California. And you know who worked at the Mighty 690? Come on, who's the most famous DJ of them all who worked at the Mighty 690 for the same building? I don't know if it was called the Mighty 690 at the time. Come on, guys. Somebody in the chat. Wolfman Jack. There you go. Wolfman Jack. I think the Mighty 690 is still around. I don't know if it's called that anymore, but yeah, they used to play like pop hits, and then they turned into sports radio. Wolfman Jack was a legend. Jimmy Savile, no. Fuck that guy. Burn in hell. Piece of shit. Now, so my fellow San Diegans out there, how many San Diegans do we have in the chat today? You know Uncle Ted Leitner? Right here. So you know Uncle Ted Leitner. $619. I remember when it was all 619, not 760 bullshit. Remember when it was 714? There you go. Yeah, 858 is new. As a Gen Zer, this might surprise you, but many of my age are reviving 90s culture, i.e. going to the movies, reading, going outside, and quarter zip trend, etc. As we became more digital, I think we've moved backwards. I think that's good. So it's the cycle of trends, particularly with pop culture, and I can only go back as far as my life. But when I was a kid in the 80s, you know what was incredibly popular? The 60s. And then the 90s, what was incredibly popular? The 70s. So it's just cycling through. So it's about time there was a 90s revival. I'm seeing a little more grunge on Twitter these days. I don't know if we ever want to fully bring that back, but that's good. We need an analog generation that completely unplugs, which is probably not really, it's counterintuitive to my job, but oh well, I'm thinking about humanity. Remember the PSA crash, Gary? I was there. I remember. I was in North County, but I remember. Horrifying. Horrifying. Have you ever seen the video of, not the photo, but there is video of the crash. Somebody, Channel 8 was doing a news thing, and you don't see the full crash, but you see the Cessna or whatever fall out of the sky behind the reporter. Horrifying shit. And I remember the McDonald's down in San Ysidro getting shot up by Huberty. It's Huberty, right? 1984. McDonald's shooter. It's like James Oliver Huberty. That's right. Yeah, the 50s were revived in the late 70s and early 80s, then the 60s, then the 70s. It goes through, and then we've kind of gone like a too long of a period on the 80s, to be honest with you. But yeah, we're going down the San Diego Memory Highway. So that was what I meant, Gary. Netflix charging within their platform, like cable started with no ads. Sorry for the cryptic man. It's all good. No, you were fine. You're fine. But I think as time goes on, they will find more unique ways to gouge you out of money. And I don't think YouTube will be any different. And they'll they'll work an option to where you can, well, they have members, right? So I don't know how they would do it, but it just wouldn't surprise me. Remember the Rat Family? Oh, yes. Why am I blanking on his name? Broncos coach. Gary, what comic shops do you recommend in Vegas? Go to Torpedo. Torpedo Comics. It's just outside of Vegas. Great shop. I'm trying to get the, because they have one in Orange County too. It's owned by John Dolmian, drummer from System of a Down. Torpedo Comics Las Vegas is on 7300 Arroyo Crossing Parkway, 105, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89113. Been there many times. Every time we go to a Vegas meetup, I go to that shop. Very nice people working there, and I think they do live. I don't know if it's on Whatnot or eBay, but they do live auctions of back issues. It's a good mix of new and old. That's what you want out of a comic shop. You want your new releases, you want your trade paperbacks, but you also want some pretty cool collectibles and a solid back issue section, which they have. Which they have. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. Going to start watching Stranger Things again. They do both Whatnot and eBay Live, which is smart. I would do both. But Torpedo's an awesome comic shop. That's a wrap. I'm going to go get something to eat because I'm hungry. So once again, if you got a COA, a certificate of authenticity for the book that says Nerdrotic, which I guess isn't as bad as what did Krista Nova look up? Nerdrotic. We will be printing new ones. You will have the same number and it will be sent to you soon. We got to get the whole printing thing going on. So sorry about that. Sorry that happened, but if I am utterly unsurprised that we boomered something. Sorry. But at least it was the COA and not the book. So thanks everyone. Thank you for support. Thanks to everyone who bought the book. Love you guys. Hope you enjoy it. Who's streaming right now? I think the gang is still streaming their video game. Go see them. Go say hi. And I'll see you tonight in a couple 3 hours on Forbidden Frontier, where we're going to discuss Egypt. This is going to be a fun show. So join us for that right here on this channel, 5:30 p.m. Central. So thank you to Rumble. Thank you to YouTube. Thank you to everyone who dropped a super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. Thanks to all the lurkers. Thanks to the Modrotics. You guys are wonderful. And we'll see you in a couple hours. Have a good day. Have a good Sunday. Ciao.